Benny, bring me everyone.
What do you mean, everyone?
Everyone! I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
Barry Manilow know that you raid his wardrobe?
Let me explain something to you. I am not Mr. Lebowski. You're Mr. Lebowski. I'm the dude.
No one is to stone anyone until I blow this whistle.
You can't fight in here. This is the war room.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Lord, you can imagine where it goes from here.
Hello and welcome to episode 53 of Zedos Gang. On today's show, we'll be talking about Star Wars Episode 9, Arnold leaving the Expendables, Transfomers The Last Knight, Creature from the Black Lagoon, and much more up in here in the Zedos Gang. Today's episode, I'm joined by Leo Van-Dammage.
This is the second time we're doing this because you deleted the first one. So, hi everyone. The intro prior to this was so good. Everyone here will agree, yes?
Yes. Moving swiftly along, we have Neil Copin.
Thank you, I'm here.
Returning again, we have Salmon.
Hi everyone, how are you?
And we have a drink.
What we don't have is a Joseph Buchanan, who can't make it, but he'll be here next week
because
as
he's
usual.
too awesome to be here, but that's okay. We will have him another day.
We will. It's bad being awesome, isn't it? Well, it was good being awesome.
Always good.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, you're right. The last one sounded better.
Yes, the last intro was extremely better than this one. I have to say to everybody that the last intro was deleted purposely by my friend. I called you out on it, and you just didn't even choose to deny it because you know you're a bad liar.
The problem is right now. The problem is right now we seem to be trying to copy the last one, and we should stop doing that.
I'm not copying the last one.
Well, we're sort of kind of following the same thing.
No, I'm just calling Sacha Allari's bullshit.
Oh, there you go.
Because I know what you did.
Yeah, there you go.
Anyway.
I know what you did last intro. I know what you did last intro. Alright, go ahead. Go.
Anyway, moving swiftly along. Trailers, guys. Now we're going to start off by talking on the first trailer, All Eyes on Me. Neil, what did you think of All Eyes on Me?
I liked it. I did like it. I wouldn't lie and say I don't, but I think it's just I've seen it before.
There's another film came out recently.
NWA.
That's the one. Something about Compton.
Straight out.
I am being sarcastic. I absolutely remember the name of that film. Because everyone was talking about it. It's like, oh, you could put 2 mics on me. It's like we're recording natively. Just as Michael Bay just said. I feel like I'm either a porn star with a bunch of dicks around me because all these mics near my face, or I just shot the president. No, don't do that. Don't film me, you weirdo. So weird. Guys, this is so gay right now. He's taking a picture.
Would you like the fact that Mike's do match his cap and his shirt?
Are you done?
Yeah,
there we go.
Anyway, that picture will be up somewhere, I'm sure. So, I'll just hold this instead of you having to. Excuse me, this Diet Coke was gassy. The Tupac movie, yes. It will be good. It will make money. That is all I have to say on that matter. I don't know.
I'm not sure if it'll be good, but it will definitely make money.
I think the problem with these films is it lessens because of the nature of the person involved. You're taking down their power, so to speak, and you're limiting it down to just these key moments. I mean, anyone who grew up, I'd say, if you grew up in the 90s listening to rap music, you listened to Tupac. And if you listened to Tupac, you knew a lot about Tupac. It's not like, he was the kind of star that people strived to be before social media.
Hold on a second. Tupac was a rapper? He was a rapper?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Well,
Oh.
he
well,
was.
there you go.
He
Now
was
you've
the
got a
guy.
reason to watch the movie now.
You know I'm joking, right?
Yeah, of course.
I couldn't tell that.
Oh,
I couldn't tell
I'm
that.
such a good actor. That's why.
Yeah. So I'm sure it's going to be a good film, but again, it's like like Notorious. Then there was Straight Outta Compton. Now there's All Eyes on Me. Not being funny, but naming a movie about a rapper and naming it after one of their albums or one of their songs is really just, it's been done.
It is true that it's been done. I was actually genuinely surprised with that The Notorious was actually a good movie. I wasn't expecting it to be. And then when I watched it, I was genuinely surprised.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering if that will do the same. Really?
Also, I think it's coincidental that Suge Knight just named the people that killed Tupac recently.
Really?
Yeah, it's like a day ago, 2 days ago. In court, he just said like who killed Tupac.
Yeah.
It's all over the interwebs. And then this trailer drops. Oh, looks like we might not have a host shortly because you're
I'm dying. I'm dying.
Yeah. So you think it's a marketing ploy then?
No, I don't think it's a marketing ploy. But because Suge Knight was pretty pissed about how he was portrayed in Straight Outta Compton. Yeah, he was pretty annoyed about that, and I don't think he's going to be all too happy with him being portrayed. Well, then I'm one of these people that thinks maybe Tupac is still alive. So some people don't agree with me now. Some people don't agree with me. I think that he might be still alive because Machiavellian ways. Plus, he keeps releasing music.
That's probably because.
Don't give me that just because they got it on backlog.
No.
They probably do.
Well,
I mean,
look at it like
much.
this.
Yeah.
Well,
Not albums. Jesus Christ.
No, yeah, you'd be
you
surprised, dude.
understand,
You
right?
would actually be surprised, man.
Tupac is quite possibly, and you know what? I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to be a bit different than usual. Beatles fans, kiss my ass. I don't care, right? Tupac is probably the greatest songwriter for body of work that there will ever be, right? I know that there's going to be fans of other forms of music who will disagree with me and be very upset about that, but you don't come out of jail to write over 100 songs, knowing that usually an album is between, say, 10 and 15 songs, especially a rap album, it's roughly 10 to 15 songs, and you make 100 in the time it takes most rappers to release one album.
Like, one album, your general one album, most people do like about 25 songs.
That's
and then they pick the best.
But here's obviously not buying Backstreet Boy DVDs back in the 90s. 12 songs, my friend. I don't just make that up.
But those 12 songs are 12 off XYZ. I mean, like Michael Jackson and Prince. Prince was renowned for having like loads of unreleased stuff.
Yes, but here's the difference between Tupac. The difference between Tupac and Prince is a lot of songs that Prince wrote were released. He just didn't perform them.
Yeah, and I agree with you.
He's written for Alicia Keys. He's written for so many different artists who are releasing music now. There's going to be Prince songs that are released, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, on his body of work. But that's just on what he wrote. Tupac wrote these songs, then recorded these songs. Recording,
Well, no, but that's another thing. A lot of I was use the word bands because bands tend to do a lot of work themselves rather than having a third party doing something for you. So they do tend to do a lot of songs. They record them as well. They send them off, and then they're told which one will be picked up and which won't be. So there tends to be a lot of recorded material that is not released.
Anyway,
before
because it's about the movie.
Yeah, it's about the movie.
What do you think about the trailer, though?
I like the trailer. The only thing that was bothering me was the voice of the man, the actor that is playing Tupac. Because I believe it's because the voice in my head is the voice from the songs. I know that's obviously a different sound than a speaking voice, but it still kind of bothers me. But I'm guessing that
I'm sure.
Listen, listen to a couple of Tupac interviews. It's not that different.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, memory.
It'll be interesting to see what they do with this. I mean, Benny Boom, is directing this. He did Next Day Air and 48 Hours to Live. He also did the SWAT firefight straight to DVD
I like that film. That was good.
movie. Was it good?
Yeah.
Was it a good worthy sequel to SWAT?
So I like Gabriel Mack though.
Oh, okay.
The actor, the main guy in that film, because he's also he's Harvey Specter in Suits.
Yeah.
And I really like that show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, anyway,
well, this guy's done a lot of TV work as well. This is like his first biography kind of type movie kind of thing. So it'd be really interesting to see him like explore that genre a little bit. Dimitri Ship Jr. is the guy playing Tupac. This is actually his second role ever. So
what's his first role as Tupac in Compton?
No.
Because I would have thought they were like, oh, we nailed it in that one. Let's just get the same guy.
And they got Kate Graham as Jada Pinkett Smith. You know what? That's gonna be a hard one for me because like Jada Pinkett is very distinctive looking. You know what I mean? And she's super hot. This girl, like I don't know, man. When I figured she was Jada Pinkett, I was like, I don't know about this girl, man.
Give her a chance.
Give her a chance, though, but, you know.
You know what I'll say? When I watched the trailer, as soon as she came up on screen, I knew that she was Jada Pinkett.
Oh, so well, fair enough.
She's not doing
actually,
that.
I remember you saying that.
Yeah.
You went, oh, Jada Pinkett.
Yeah.
And I went, oh.
Okay, so moving swiftly along, the next trailer we have is Three Generations. Okay, so Three Generations, it stars Naomi Watts, Ellie Fanning, and Susan Sarandon. It's directed by Gabby Delau. So yeah, guys, what do we think of this movie? Over to you, Neil, first, and we'll do it this way, going round the group.
It looks like a good enough film. It looks interesting. It's not my usual forte, but it does have enough of a story to it that I would go and watch it.
Anything else?
No, that's your cue.
Pretty much. I like the Susan Sarandon character. If you watch the trailers, which I hope you do, you watch the trailer, just watch Susan Sarandon. She kind of steals the show for the film.
I want to sleep with Susan Sarandon, so... She broke up with Tim Robbins. Is she divorced Tim Robbins? I'm down with that, man. She did.
Boy, I like Tim Robbins.
Yeah, so do I, but, you know...
I like Baskin Robbins.
I think Tim
Such
Robbins
an Asian for 31 flavours, bro. Jesus Christ. I mean, this film just looks like it's taking advantage. Like I think you said, Salmon, you said that this was filmed like 2 years ago.
It seems like it's filmed about 3 years ago.
Yeah, so like they probably just released it now. It's probably like the same effect of Paranormal Activity that was made like 2 years prior to it actually being on wide release.
Exactly.
My names are in the trailer for that movie. Just so I know. Yeah, I'm in the credits for that film.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah, like one of the marketing campaigns was to get that film out. You had to sign up and get it logged out to get it reviewed in your city, and if it got shown in your city, you would end up in the credits.
Oh wow, that's cool.
And I'm in the credits for the original one.
Oh, awesome.
Because I was like, oh, that looked interesting, and then I watched it, and I was like, oh shit.
You backed it, dude. You backed it.
Yeah, I backed it on what I was shown.
Can we IMDb you?
Huh?
Can we IMDb you?
No, I mean you won't find anything.
Oh, okay.
They just put all the contestants in it. They just put them in the trailer.
Right.
Oh, so
and I got the
Clerks
email
too.
and everything. Sorry?
Sort of like Clerks too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
Hey, well,
I know what Clerks 2 is, but I don't know what you're referencing specifically. But Satch wants to move us alone because we're not allowed to have fun or elaborate on anything. But we'll just go. Okay, either way, it's I think it's taking advantage a little bit of like the current social standing of what's going on. But I mean, I won't watch it. Just because I have absolutely no fucking interest in what this one is about. And I'd rather watch Dakota Fanning on Man on Fire 2 or some shit, I don't know.
Oh, that's a brilliant film.
Man on Fire 2, no, make a sequel.
Oh, 2?
Someone just make a sequel,
wow.
yeah, that's what they should do. Instead of making this fucking movie. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, I don't know, but I mean, the film, it seems like an opportunity just to make money in a sort of a way. It depends how good the storyline is. If you guys do go and watch, put it up and tell us if the story is actually good, decent enough to watch. But otherwise, I would say just wait for the DVD release and just watch it.
If it touches a nerve, maybe for you, like
not really.
I mean, like, and what I mean by that is if it's a specific subject that you have a vested interest in.
Oh yeah, that's
then
true.
by all means go and watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no interest in it personally. That's my personal point of view. But yeah.
I like myself too. It's got some funny moments in there. If it's randomly on Netflix or if someone shows it to me, then fair enough, I'll check it out.
But they'll have to sit you down and force you to.
Yeah,
watch
probably.
It's not something you're gonna be like, hey, dude, check out this film. You're gonna be like, okay.
Well, that said, this guy does have that ability because he has made me watch some ridiculous movies which I hated him for.
Yeah, but vice versa, it doesn't work.
True, that's true. I haven't been able to get him to watch something.
But I mean, what do you call it? to be quite honest, there's nothing quite like that subject matter like that out there at the moment. Yeah, you're probably right.
That's incorrect.
Is that incorrect?
Yeah,
educate me, sir.
Just the roles are reversed.
Oh, okay, fair
so
enough.
it's men into women. They've made loads of films like that.
Oh, okay. Well,
that's true. And there's a show as well, Transparent.
Yeah, and then you got like Raoul Paul's Drag Race, which isn't obviously not transgender, but it broaches the subject. So there are so many more subjects broaching the reverse of that.
Yeah.
But if you try to like this will go into some geopolitical thing, but if you try to explain the difference between a man to a woman and a woman to a man, people get offended. So I'm not going to offend those people. I don't want those people hating me, but go watch a film if it inclined to you. That's it.
But anyway,
I like
moving along. We got Chuck.
Oh, sorry, I don't think I caught that on the mic, so I'm going to get you to say that again.
I said I like Batman versus Superman. I'm used to hate.
I feel sorry.
That did.
Moving along, we have Chuck.
Sorry.
Neil, what did you think of Chuck?
I didn't know that it was the story it was. What can I say? It seems like a parody film. I'm not really absorbed. I'm not buying into it. It just seems like a parody film.
I'd heard about this. So I watched the special features on Rocky.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah.
And it's about the guy that everyone thought that they inspired this film, but the guy who knocked down Mike Tyson or knocked him out. Not Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
Ginger guy.
Oh,
in the film, he's like a ginger. Yeah, I don't know if he knocked him down or knocked him out, but he couldn't beat him. I don't remember the ins and outs of it, but that's why Stallone saw it. Was like, oh, hey, and he made the film whilst he was doing porno films. Because that's what Stallone was doing as well. For people who don't know. But yeah, so I've had my fill of boxing films this year. I've watched. I don't think anything's gonna top. What's the one? Bleed for This. Yeah, Bleed for This is pretty fucking good. And then you got Hands of Stone, which was pretty good too. Did you see that? Yeah, did you see that? It was pretty good. Check it out. It's good. But yeah, I mean. Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you. You were making a point. I just sort of hijacked it. Go ahead.
Like I said, it's very. It seems very just parody-ish. I'm sure maybe it's not because I mean the cast that they've got. Ron Perlman, Liv Schreiber, Naomi Watts, Elizabeth Moss. Sorry, not Moss. You've got a very good cast, but I'm just like, yeah.
Sach, could you find out, as you have the interwebs in front of you, could you find out if this guy actually did try to end up boxing a bear? Is that a real thing, or is that just like dramatized for the movie?
I'm not too sure.
Could you find out for me?
Yeah, what was his name again? Chuck, right?
Chuck. I mean, if you type Chuck, you'll probably get the serialized TV show that went on for 5 seasons. But
yeah.
It should be there anyway. But that's what I got from the trailer myself, because when I first saw it, I thought...
he fights a bear?
Yeah,
he fights a bear.
I thought it was just an opportunity to make, to use that story, that this is the guy who was, the inspiration for that movie.
Yeah, look, they have
I didn't know that.
Hulk Hogan.
I had no idea if that was real. I still don't know.
No, but what I mean is, did that happen in real life with this guy? Did he really fight a bear? Because obviously it's a dramatization of his life.
It's set in the 70s, right?
Yeah, but have they taken some liberties? Yeah, that shit was happening in the 70s.
He probably got in the ring with a bear. He probably just, realised he was...
I do know a lot of jokes about fighting and wrestling.
Find out if you type his full... If you find out his full name...
What's his full name?
I don't know, dude. You have the internet in front of you. Whatever his name is, Chuck... Just type in Chuck movie on IMDb and it will tell you it's based on the life of Chuck whatever.
Yeah.
And then take that guy's name and type in versus bear. See what comes up.
There we go. Chuck Webnut.
I just thought Sacha Allari people said.
His name is Webnut. Webnut.
Webnut.
Chuck Webnut. Webnut. Have you guys heard of this new thing? It's called the internet. Really? I've never heard of it. Yeah, it goes inside of your boxer shorts. You know when you go swimming, it keeps it together. It's the interneting.
Oh wow!
Well, we have a video.
Oh,
we do have a video.
No,
Let's see.
Destroyer versus
Destroyer versus the bear.
You're fucking lying to me.
Oh, there is an actual bear
footage.
Read the comments.
Wait a minute. Is this guy... I thought he was a boxer. He's wrestling a bear.
Yeah, that's the Destroyer versus the bear.
That's
a wrestler versus a bear.
That's a wrestler versus the bear. You want to find...
Take off his mask. That's Zangief.
Chuck Webb, yeah.
This has become okay. This is
okay. Well,
I was sort of gone off topic here.
It's quite important, I think.
Really?
To what I've seen, I saw a dude fighting a bear, or possibly fighting a bear, in a trailer. I want to know if that's.
Oh, here we go.
No, that's just Russian people fighting bears. Dude. That's just a Saturday morning for those fucking people.
Who is it?
I can't.
Okay,
where are these
alright.
people from?
Okay,
Actually,
okay.
wrestling a bear.
Okay, Sacha's Google foo is not very good.
Not only that, he's brought up every Russian man fighting a bear.
I'm going to give this. You're going to look for it, are you?
All right. In the meantime, we'll come back to that.
Fine,
we'll come back to
okay.
that. What did you think about
Neil's
the movie?
going to look for
I
it.
actually like this trailer. I did feel that they were sort of taking opportunity at the inspiration, the guy who was an inspiration for the Stallone movie. I thought this may be a ploy just to get another flick out of it. But if it's true, this is awesome. Plus, it seems a bit more comedy rather than serious. I'm not sure if that's going to stay the tone of the whole movie. It could be just the trailer. But other than that, I'm not sure it's a big screen movie.
You know what it reminds me of? The Wrestler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Mickey Rourke film.
Yeah.
That's what it reminds me of.
But wasn't that a serious movie?
Yeah, I mean, the bits where if you want to make money, you got to be famous.
Oh, right, so the taglines are just exactly the same.
I mean, that's what Ron Perlman says to him in the film, in the trailer. He says to him, if you want to keep getting paid, you need to be famous, like keep yourself relevant or whatever, in the trailer of this movie. And that's kind of like the dream that what's-his-name is chasing in The Wrestler, is he always wants to be famous and hit WrestleMania and all that shit.
Right. So we could say this is a comedy version of The Wrestler then?
Maybe, yeah, it could be.
Depends
with a lot more, I don't know, chances. Oh, hold on, Neil may have found something. No, that's not it.
Well, I thought the trailer looked quite good. It looked quite comedic, to be quite honest. I know it's been directed by Philippe. It is. Van-Dammage. I can't pronounce his name for shit, but he's a Canadian French director. It stars Liev Schreiber as the main boxer guy that plays Chuck. Neil seems to have found the bear thing. Breaking news.
Neil seems to have found footage of this man fighting a motherfucking bear.
Yeah, he did. He fought the bear.
Did he win? I would hope so.
Basically, the bear's on all fours.
The bear
is on all fours for most of the video, until one part where the bear is on top of him, and let's just say I'd prefer the bear to have been aroused than angry.
I think they did claw the bear, and there's no way that
I'm not sure.
He did, but it's true. He fought a bear.
No, but
I'd fight a bear. I could probably fight a bear.
I have the issue of what you said there. I just have the issue of what you just said there. That you would have liked it better, preferred it if the bear was aroused than angry. I'm not sure about that. I mean,
most people die from hate.
If I had a choice between getting raped and getting killed, I'm going to choose getting killed. I'd rather not the rape.
Exactly. You don't want
to mauled by a bear. Anyway. I mean, look, I'm not Leonardo DiCaprio. I ain't winning an Oscar if a bear tries to kill me.
I know we're going off subject here, but just FYI, with human beings, a bear usually eats you asshole first. So
I like to get kissed before I get.
Anyway, I mean, like, not only
Zedos gangbang. That's what
wow.
Can we dial it back? Can we bring it back? How much of this is he going to edit?
No, I'm not editing this.
Keep on, man.
We'll see what Joe does. But anyway, Naomi Watts is really showing up in a lot of these films these days, isn't she?
She
has popped around.
She's popped around in the past couple of trailers, hasn't she?
She needs to do something to make up for the ring. So.
Well, that was about a decade ago.
And plus, the other thing I like about this trailer, which is a win for me.
I haven't seen it.
I've seen the trailer.
Is it good?
I've looked kind of crap.
Sorry, you're talking.
The other thing,
sorry, sir.
The other thing in this trailer, which is a win for me, Ron Perlman, man. I'll watch any movie that guy's in.
Well, yeah.
Except for Hellboy 2.
I didn't like it.
I didn't like it.
Wow.
But you know why? Because I knew they weren't making that third.
Oh.
It's one of those. It's like, you're not making a third one. So I'm not going to like this movie.
I didn't mind it. I mean, I wasn't a big fan of it, but I still enjoyed it.
Are we ready for the next trailer?
What trailer is this?
My Little Pony.
Okay, so we were going to explain to you what bronies were.
Yes. Bronies? What's a brony?
So,
I actually don't know what this is.
Right, for those who are about to step into the Twilight Zone, things are not as they appear. Prepare to boldly go where no man has gone before. Actually, many men have actually gone before, because that's why they're called bronies. Yeah. So you see how you're into if you're into My Little Pony, because this isn't really a trailer. This is like a teaser. Right. So this is the trailer is now over. See when Joe does it, it's on loop. So basically, My Little Pony is obviously a big brand around the world, and everybody knows it. And then there is this subsect of males who are really into My Little Pony. You know what furries are?
No.
Oh, that's another topic.
Okay, you have trekkers. Yeah. Because of people who are deeply embedded.
Trekkies. Insult me, sir.
Well, the
trekkers are people that like walking. Do I look like I am a walker? No.
I thought they were called ramblers. Well, no.
All right.
Trekker. You know, if you're heavily into
what the hell's a furry?
Star Wars. Yeah. Star Trek. Sorry. If you're heavily into Star Trek, you're a Trekkie.
Okay.
Right?
I get it. Let's get to the point. Right. What the hell's a
okay, but hold on. For him to understand what bronies are, he needs to know what furries are.
What's a furry?
So, do you want to take this one, Neil?
No. I'm gonna have a good time watching this.
Okay, so should I just bring up the definition of furry on the interwebs?
Why don't you just be?
Why don't you just tell me? Just tell me.
Well, furries are people who like to dress up in kind of like dog outfits.
I would say animals.
Hold on.
Furry animals.
Furry animals, right? Okay, and but most of the time they resemble some sort of wolf dog thing.
Fox.
Right. Okay, so here's an enthusiast for animal characters with human characteristics. In particular, a person who dresses up in a costume such as a character or uses one as an avatar online. A small, so basically, almost like humanoid type of thing. And I'm going to show you what
Raccoon Suit Mario, right?
Well, no. Let me put it this way.
No, so this is furries kind of look like this. They dress up at them. You see them in conventions sometimes, but they have their own thing. And those people, they're really sometimes they like to fuck each other in those costumes. Yeah.
Yes,
I will show you a video of this from Entourage.
So it's not just
not an actual one. From the TV show Entourage, there is a scene in an episode in which a woman tries to get one of the characters to dress up in one of those outfits. He declines. Another character,
it has to be drama.
Another character does do it. It's drama. He doesn't decline.
I would totally do it.
Turtle declines. Drama does it. When Turtle actually peeks in the window and sees what Drama's doing, it's hilarious. It's a beautiful moment in TV history.
Well, that's what furries are. So bronies, I kind of like that, except they don't dress up at them. They just have fantasize about these cartoon My Little Ponies, and they draw their own versions, and sometimes they make them fuck, or they are think of hentai, but with My Little Pony, and they're called bronies.
Specialized in pony.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, we got it.
Like a bro.
We have an image.
Moving
just
along.
Here for you, Sash.
Oh wow, that's.
Oh yeah, that's a brony.
That's crazy. All right.
Yeah.
So Neil, your view on this trailer?
I have never indulged in My Little Pony. I've never indulged in My Little Pony. I never intend to ever indulge in it. 99.999.999.999% sure I'm not going to see this film. So, it's not really a trailer, it's just a bunch of animated ponies flying across the screen followed by the cast. Wow, I'm not going to be involved in that in any way, shape or form.
Here you go, there's another version of a brony right there.
Okay, great.
Into My Little Pony.
That's not just a version, that's an obsessed man there.
So basically, see how you collect video games? These men collect
ponies.
Okay.
Ponies. And those specific ponies.
You know what? Okay. Everybody's addicted to something.
I guess. Right.
Whatever makes you happy.
Well, how about you, Leo?
Dude, I'm gonna put a belt around my neck while I jack off.
Salmon?
I have absolutely no interest. I see it and literally nothing dared.
Obviously, this trailer was not for any of us, so...
It's not a trailer, it's a teaser.
It's a teaser. It's a trailer.
I can't even call that a teaser. I mean...
A teaser at least gives me an erection. I usually pay more for that.
Okay, moving swiftly along, we have Ingrid Goes West.
Oh, I like this.
Oh, yeah.
Audrey Plaza.
We'll let Leo start this one.
Oh, yeah.
Audrey Plaza.
Well, I mean, I just jumped for it, really. Yes, and she's doing quite good work recently. She was in Dave and Mike Need... and Dave Need Wedding Dates, and she was in Dirty Grandpa. And I've always loved her in Parks and Recreation. I think she's great. I love her. I think she's brilliant. So anything she does, and she starts it great because she's just walking through this wedding and she calls the bridesmaid, the bride, a cunt. And I'm like, yeah, I'm in. This is my kind of film. I'm going to enjoy it. So I for sure will watch this because it seems like it's my kind of humour. My girlfriend will watch it with me. Obviously, we have to make sure our child is asleep.
I'll say this was directed by Matt Spice. It's his first film ever. He's done quite a bit of short films and stuff. And what a cast, man! I mean, like we've got. Who have we got in there?
Elizabeth Olsen, dude, she has
Shit
great
Jackson.
boobs.
Oh yeah, she does.
Yeah, she was in what film was it that I saw them in? Old Boy. That is right. Thank you very much, Neil, with the assist. Old Boy. Yes.
And she's a fellow Avenger, so
and she's actually a pretty good actress too. So,
but I mean, you know what? I totally dig this trailer. I mean, like it seemed really, like
it's
left
oddly
field.
cut.
Yeah, it's oddly cut.
Looks like it's going to be good.
Oh yeah, totally. And like, I totally dig it. Neil, what do you think?
I am totally going to watch this film. Absolutely. I just, I think Audrey Plaza is one of those actresses that a lot of people don't know who she is by name, but when you see her, you're like, yeah, I loved her in this.
Yeah.
Yeah. The trailer's cut more like, like a guy's movie, but obviously all women there. I'm guessing it's going to pull a lot of people in to come and watch. It's pretty funny.
No, definitely.
Well, Bridesmaids was all women, and that's a great fucking movie for guys to watch too. So.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying the way it was cut.
Yeah.
Oh.
Not that is a guy's movie.
Oh,
it's just
right.
the way it was cut, the way, the bombshell movements, basically. That's what usually guy moves are. The bombshell movements, those are the ones they promote, so people will come and watch them. That's basically it. Yeah.
Okay, so, So, the next trailer we have is Full Metal Alchemist. This is directed by Fumiku Sori. And I don't know whether I got his name right. Leo's like totally laughing there, but yeah, it's based on the anime, which Leo will go on to explain in more detail to me. But you know what? I've seen a few episodes of this, and I like the look of the trailer. To be quite honest, it looked a lot better than Ghost in the Shell, but yeah, I don't know though. I don't know the IP that well, etc.
I'm not massively into it. Here's what I can tell you. I know it's from what it looks like and what I see, it seems to be true to the anime so far. Like if you watch Full Metal Alchemist, not Brotherhood or anything else, just the main core episodes, it does seem like it's pretty true to it. It's two brothers. I think they've lost their parents. If I'm right, again, it's so long since I watched that first few episodes, but. They lost their parents and then they're trying to get them back and they're using some magic to do it, some alchemy, and then the way it works is obviously for you to do something like that, it's sort of you have to give something to it. Sometimes that price is a little bit too much, and in the price it seems to be it's the little brother of the main character, and he ends up going into the body of like a knight. If you have a look here, see that?
I see
there. Yeah. You've missed it twice, so man.
I know. I was reading about the movie actually.
Yeah. So I mean, again, am I right from what I've just said and what you've just read? Is that correlate?
Yeah, yes, definitely.
So he kind of goes into this big, huge, like knight suit, and then they go around kicking ass. Basically, again, it's a serialized TV, so there is like a core storyline, an overarching story, but either way, it looks way better than fucking Ghost in the Shell. My personal opinion, sorry. But I do like the look of this film. It looks very good. I will totally watch it. Much like I'm waiting for the new Death Note, which we should be talking about.
What do you think, Neil?
I, having not seen anything, I know what Full Metal Alchemist is, but having never seen any episode of the show, never reading any material to do with it, not knowing anything other than that it exists, I think it looks very good. I think, I could very get into it. I think, and this is not a knock to it, I think that in the current day and age of like you can tell how much money is spent on a project. It looks like, okay, they didn't spend Ghost in the Shell money on this, but maybe that will be a good thing. You know.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about this. I never heard of it. Never seen anything about it. But the trailer, I see it. What I've been told about it, it oddly feels really familiar. It feels like one of those fantasy books or stories you've read when you were younger regarding, somebody trying to get something back, trying to get somebody back, and ends up giving some sort of sacrifice to that. But if you look at the trailer, you'll feel a lot of familiarity there from the scenes themselves, because as I've read it right now, it's actually been filmed mostly in Italy and then Japan. So when you go and watch this movie, you will see sights and sounds that you know. So it's something that it can bring you to the movie, and it does look good. So it's all up in the air. But I'll go and watch that movie.
Okay, so the next trailer we have is I Am Heath Ledger. This is a biopic about the late actor Heath Ledger, famously played the Joker in The Dark Knight, for those that didn't know. I guess those listening to the show would know, so I don't even know why I said that.
If you don't, you might as well leave.
Yeah, may as well leave, yeah. This is directed by Adrian Brutentious and Derek Murray, and this is a documentary based on his life. It looks like he was a keen videographer and stuff, so he videoed a lot of tapes with himself in. You've got a lot of ex-cast members and crew members and directors that have worked with him throughout his life, as well as family and friends that knew him best. Looks like an interesting documentary. This looks like it's going to make bank. What do you think, Neil?
To be honest, it's going to sound bad, but I don't really have a tremendous interest in this. I mean, I thought Heath Ledger was a great actor when he was around. I haven't seen a film where I've seen it and think, wow, that was terrible and you were terrible in it. I thought he was a great actor. He has a great body of work, but he wasn't one of my actors. Everyone has, their crop of individuals who, you hear that this person's in a film, you want to see that film. You hear something bad happens to that person, you want to know about it. Heath Ledger wasn't one of those guys for me, so it's, I'm sure it will do well. I'm sure people who absolutely love Heath Ledger will flock to see it, but there isn't much I can really say about it.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean, because I grew up watching teenage movies in which he was in, like 10 Things I Hate About You. I remember when that came out, I was in high school.
Yes, I was impressed with that film.
Exactly. I watched that like day in, day out, like a lot of it. And then a bunch of other movies like Brothers Grimm and like Ned Kelly, and I think Knight's Tale was one of my family favorites. I think my dad loved that film. He watched it a billion times. So for me, it's I would like to go and watch this film just to see what people say about him, really. Just more curiosity than anything else. I'm not sure how good it's going to be, but the trailers do seem to show that a lot of people did show up to tell their stories about him, and there seems to be a lot of personal footage, so it could be interesting to me, at least.
I like Heath Ledger when he worked. He's dead now. In case anyone knows. That's what he's talking about. I won't see it. It's not something I'm going to go out of my way to watch. If it's there and available on Netflix, then yeah, for sure.
It's going to be on TV, so you might.
Yeah, but I'm not going to. Yeah, it's a Spike show, right? It's not going to be actually a movie. It's going to be like a documentary.
They're releasing it on the cinemas, but usually 4 weeks later, it's going to be on TV.
Yeah, I mean, Caesar Palace, most likely on Netflix.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, you do. So man, you hit it hard, man. That fucking Knight's Tale, that's a good movie.
Yeah.
And that's about it. That's kind of like I never really got into Heath Ledger. He really wasn't my scene.
Well, this is just it. So, I mean, like, you know what? A lot of these millennials seem to think like, oh my god, he's one of the greatest of all time. And I say this because like they all forget that before he was cast as a Joker,
I remember
the uproar The opera, the unbelievable opera. Everyone was like, and myself included, it was like, he's no Jack Nicholson. He's no Jack Nicholson. He's Heath Ledger. You know what I mean? And I actually think, you know what? He did a damn good job in The Dark Knight as the Joker, in that interpretation of the Joker. But you know what? Like, looking back at his filmography, which I have now, because, you know, you just kind of get interested. He did some solid work, but there wasn't... None of those movies really jumped out to me, like, oh my God, you have to see it. And I actually honestly reckon if he was still alive, he would have got to his De Niro status by now, just based on The Dark Knight. Do you know what I mean? That performance in The Dark Knight, if he was still alive, he'd be like the, you know, that would have put him in the stratosphere.
That's his Raging Bull.
Yeah, that was, yeah, exactly. And he probably would have got like a lot more killer act roles that, you know, in films that I personally think that I would have been more interested in. I'd
have liked to see him in a Scorsese movie.
Oh yeah, definitely. 100%, because he had the chops, man. He had the chops, but it's just that his filmography before that didn't really like shout out to me. I knew he shouted out to like girls I dated and stuff, but you know what I mean. Like, but you know, I wasn't really. I've never really been a rom-com guy unless it was written by Kevin Smith or, you know, one that was genuinely funny. You know what I mean?
The thing is, I think he only did like 2 rom-com movies anyway. But the thing is, he was still new to the business, really.
Exactly.
And I myself, when I heard that he was casted as Joker, I couldn't understand that.
Yeah, exactly.
But then again, when I watched it, I couldn't believe anybody else could do it anyway. No. Like the way he did it. I mean, it was just absolutely brilliant. But then I also believe that was his stepping stone to actually doing a lot better work.
Yeah.
There was one movie that before then it was called The Candy, I think that's he was in. It was one of those druggy, wasn't it? Like with the girlfriend. That kind of showed, but the thing was 2006, I think. Yeah, but it kind of showed that he could do a lot different work. But it was a independent movie. It was a small, flick.
Yeah.
You had to go look for it.
Yeah.
It wasn't really available anywhere. So I wouldn't have believed that people would have known. So a lot of people were kind of put off when they heard that he was being a Joker. But now, nobody can think of anybody else.
2 things I didn't know he was in. I didn't know he was in Monsters Ball.
He was the security guard.
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah.
And then, and I also completely forgot that he was in, where was it? I just saw it. The Patriot.
The Patriot, yeah. He was the son.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that shit too.
But then again, these are small roles. Because he was basically standing next to his dad, who was Mel Gibson.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, good flicks, small roles, decent stuff. Nothing, like, bad about them. It's just that they weren't his, you know? But
yes, what we got next?
Yeah, okay, so on to our last and final trailer stroke featurette, which will also lead into the first of our topics. Transformers 5 The Last Knight. A new featurette just came out with Michael Bay talking a little bit about the IMAX experience. Also, like, the trailer just seems like a rehash of like trailer 2, but with a few extra snippets of footage. If you guys haven't seen trailer 2, then you know what I mean, you might not be able to tell the difference, because I barely did until I saw like 4 different shots I hadn't seen before. But no, yeah, the featurette for Transformers and Michael Bay's enthusiasm about shooting big action. What did you think about this insight into Baygasm here, Neil?
I didn't need it in regards to seeing the film. I think it's, I think the whole kind of featurette. I mean, I'm gonna go see Transformers, end of story. But I think the whole kind of featurette about shooting this type of 3D. Unfortunately, I just think it's a market employ. I think, you know, it's a market employ for the people who are, you know, they're not really interested in seeing Transformers, but they want to go and see a film. Oh, what's the next step from 3D? You know, it's well, that's the thing. I mean, I watched Ghost in the Shell today in 4D. Right, pretty good experience. But it's, you know, I'll put it to you like this, right? I grew up watching films from the late 70s and the early 80s,
right,
where really and truly you didn't have a lot. You were working with what you had, and because of that, you had to make sure your stories were good. Obviously, there were some duds. Right. There are some bad films made in those periods of time, but it was more about the story. Nowadays, you know, today's films, it's more about how much money did you spend to make it? Oh, what latest trick did you pull off to get this done? Oh, you know, it's not 3D, it's natural 3D. It's
Can I ask you something
3D.
about this natural 3D? The featurette that they show, is that actually true?
What's that?
That this is the first one. It wasn't Avatar like also natural 3D.
No, the thing is, Avatar when it was native 3D.
Native 3D.
The thing is, when Avatar was shot, Avatar used, I think it was one camera with 2 lenses,
right,
to get you that 3D feel.
Right.
And this is basically my
cameras.
like, I'm gonna, you know what I'm gonna do? Okay, use one camera with 2 lenses.
Well,
I'm gonna use 2 cameras.
On the subject approaching that and what Michael Bay was actually trying to say there, you got to understand, like the Transformers movies and most of these movies that are in 3D. I'm opening a door which is making a lot of noise here because it's a bit stuffy in here, and Leo can't deal with
all grown men in a small room with electrical goods. It needs to cool down.
But back on point, I mean, like what you got to understand is a lot of these 3D films that we get now are converted 3D. We don't really get like proper 3D shot with the proper cameras these days. The only people that does it that way is James Cameron, low budget horror movies, and you know,
a lot of documentaries.
Yeah, a lot of documentaries, and Michael Bay's Transformers. But bear in mind, Michael Bay shot, I think, the 3rd movie with as much as he could with those cameras, and for the footage that he couldn't shoot like that way, they were all post-converted, if you know what I mean. So it had a mixture of the two, rather than have like 3D, then 2D for ages. He made sure that it was post-converted on everything, and the same with the last one. So this one looks like it's going to be fully 3D, the way Avatar was done, the way you know what I mean, on his scale of action.
True.
So he's like the guy from IMAX says. I mean, IMAX as a cinema. You know what I mean? They've always said that he's one of the few directors that push for that, like that kind of scale of action for the IMAX experience. Whether it's shot in IMAX 3D, like, the full frame of the image for IMAX, I'll have to
it's yet to be... Go shoot in full frame. It doesn't work for them.
Yeah.
It will be something like 2 ratio to whatever that is.
But then we'll have to wait and see. But if he does, that's a big... that's a big thing within itself, but
then again,
we'll have to see.
Are people buying it now? I mean, are people actually intrigued by the fact that it's 3D and going wise? Because it is the extra money to go and spend it.
Well, I mean, you know what? It's at the end of the day, to me, the film is going to make money. It's going to easily clear 100 million.
Sure.
Right? It's inconceivable to think it won't. Right? But to me, the more emphasis you put on what you used to make the film, the more concern I get on
how the film is.
How good the film is, right?
Exactly.
If you told me, we used a red to film this, I'm like, okay, so you can have a clear image.
Yeah.
Cool. You put some time and effort into the film. You're like, oh, we're using this super duper, it's like the Iron Man Mark 37 suit of cameras.
Yeah.
We're gonna do that, it's like this film, this camera will shoot the film, it will edit the film, it will write the rewrites of the script, it will do everything it needs to for you, right? You telling me all about how wonderful this camera is, I'm probably not gonna really care.
Moving away from the featurette, the trailer itself, I know it's a rehash of trailer 2. I don't really think we talked much of trailer 2, or you guys haven't anyway. What did you think of the trailer?
I don't think there was anything bad about the trailer. I thought, hey, the trailer, it's alright. It's a Transformers trailer.
You were just waiting to see whether you get stung in the theatre, huh?
No, it's just I'm watching it and I know that it's going to... I know what I'm going to see this film for. I'm going to see giant robots swinging swords and shooting guns. I'm going to see them getting beaten up and whatever. I'm going to see, some young hot girl running around, with sweat on her face and whatnot. I'm gonna see some, some Hollywood hunk doing something, and then I'm gonna see, some well-known, acclaimed actor in a really little role.
It's a perfect escapism movie, really.
To be honest,
it has no story.
To be honest, Transformers,
tons of action, and that's what you're going there for.
It's like, I'm gonna say something, right? Transformers is actually what cinema was created for.
Huh?
Right? And I'll explain what I mean by that, right? cinema, going to the cinema to see a film is escapism.
Sure.
Right? Transformers is escapism. You completely escape from the reality of world, right? So many films nowadays, it has to be real. It has to. You have to feel it. No, you don't. You can go and watch 2.5 hours of nonsense, right?
Yeah.
And then leave and be like, oh wow, that was nonsense, but it was cool. And then you go back to the reality of your hard, real reality world where you have to feel it.
Sure.
Anyway, yeah, you've been
how
very
about
silent.
Speak for yourself, sir. In my world, this Transformers running around all over the fucking place. I mean, I'll watch it, obviously, because it's Transformers and it's a Michael Bay movie. I don't think it's going to be great, but I will still watch it. I'll watch it over that fucking tranny film we had on earlier.
That's 3 generations.
Whatever that movie was. I'll watch this before I watch that.
I thought you're not going to piss people off, dude.
I don't give a fuck. What's the damage? Send me an email. Have a go at me. Not Zedos, gang.
Which brings us to the next thing. I mean, like our main first topic. I mean, Transformers. They're basically talking about the writers' room and stuff like that. Bay was talking about the current writers' room that consists of Stephen the Knight. Let me get the thing up.
Well, what do you mean by the writers' room?
So basically, for you guys that don't know, they just started creating a writers' room kind of thing to fresh out movie scripts for spin-off movies and more future Transformers films, basically. Okay. So then, after this one, there's going to be a Bumblebee movie, which is being done by the Kubo and the Two Strings director. What's his name? I've forgotten his name now. Travis Knight. Okay, so he's the animation director, and he's co-writing the script and directing the movie. So. You know what I mean? Now, the writers' room consists of Iron Man and Punisher Warzone writers Art Markham and Matt Holloway, Ken Nolan and Avica Goldsman. He did such classics as Batman Forever and Batman and Robin, Lost in Space. But at the same time, he also did... Yeah, I know, pretty bad movies, huh? But at the same time, he did the Da Vinci Code, iRobot, I Am Legend.
That's a bad movie.
Oh, Da Vinci Code was a bad
When you say bad, you mean bad as in good, like they used to say in the 90s?
No.
Yeah, that's good.
The book was brilliant, the movie was horrible.
But I mean, like, he also
wrote... Even the hype, the book was not brilliant.
It was a pretty good book.
It was pretty good. I read the book about 2 years prior to that. And, see, no.
But he also wrote
as brilliant as the way people talk about.
But he also wrote A Beautiful Mind and oh god, where is it? Cinderella Man. Cinderella Man.
See, which I thought you were going to say Encino Man.
No. Yeah. You know what? Oh, and Time to Kill.
No, I'm
That's a good fucking movie.
I know.
That is a good fucking movie.
That is a damn good movie. Now, here's the thing, okay? I think it can be said that this guy, just a hired writer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he has some passion projects, but he's a hired writer. He's also like an old dude, so he never grew up with Transformers. He definitely didn't grow up on Batman. No. You know what I mean, or comic books. So, you know what I mean. Like he's just been hired and he's in this writers' room. But Ace in the Hole, they got Stephen the Knight that helped create Daredevil for TV. Now Stephen the Knight knows the shit. So. You know what I mean? So these guys have been, behind this current incarnation of Transformers. My biggest problem with the past 3 Transformers movies, with the exception of the first one, was that the writing was terrible. Yeah. Ethan Krieger, who they got to write those movies, he's a terrible script writer. He also co-wrote Ghost in the Shell, which I won't go into in this
Ghost
podcast.
In the Shell?
Yeah, this one.
That's right, shit.
Yeah, so...
so how bad is it?
Have you changed your standpoint?
No. I think
because we went to watch it.
Yeah,
together,
I didn't think it was. I didn't think it was as bad as like you thought it was, but wasn't as great as it should have been.
I'm so glad it's bombing everywhere, so they don't make it clear.
Anyway, that's another subject for another time. But anyway,
so subject. Give me the fucking mic.
Anyway,
close to my heart.
But anyway, we'll get to it one day. All right, we'll get to it one day. But basically, Transformers writing room. These guys have been cooking up stuff for a few years now. It's been a few years now. They claim they have 14 different story ideas for different Transformers movies and spin-offs. Like I said, one's by the Kuber and the Two Strings director. Michael Bay has also said recently that although he said that he won't return, like he says every single time until the money trucks keep arriving, he has actually turned around and said some of those ideas he's totally on board for, and he's tempted to dip his toe back into the Transformers universe. So, Leo, any thoughts? You're going to go first on Michael Bay's return and this Transformers writing room and any of the 14 other ideas that they may have.
You just made me feel like I was in a classroom because I was on my phone and paying attention. And you're like, now, Mr. Van-Dammage, would you like to come up and answer the problem on the board? Oh, I wasn't paying attention. I was reading a comic book. No, I was paying attention to you. To be honest with you, no, we don't need to do that anymore. Let's not making any spin-off movies. Can we have something original? I don't give a shit about a Bumblebee film. Do you give a shit about a Bumblebee film?
Not particularly.
No. This is what the Bumblebee film's go about. We're going to talk about how he wasn't able to talk in the first Transformers films and what happened at that time. No one cares. No one cares. Don't make that fucking movie. Stop making the Transformers film. I don't know. Make a fucking Voltron film. Do that. That's better. Do a live action Voltron film. Look, Neil's going, yeah, because you fucking will watch that. That's right. Do that. I don't know. Let's not make any more fucking anime films from other stuff. Throw your money into an original fucking idea sometime. Michael Bay can do so much better films. He can be involved in so many more things. If he's running this, he needs to fucking spearhead it into a new direction. Stop making Transformers films. I don't give a shit. That's my point of view. I'm very sorry for the swearing, but he's, I know fuck is a bad word, but Michael Bay is making me fucking say it.
I feel the pain.
You get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, you understand. I'm just thinking, how many times are you going to beat this box? How many movies are going to come out of this thing?
Beat the fucking dead Transformer horse to death. I don't want to hear it
now. I actually don't know what's going on. I remember the last one had Shia, whatever his name is, and then suddenly Mark Wahlberg was in it. And then suddenly now it's, what's going on there? I don't
You know what? Any film with Marky Mark, the Aardvark, fucking, Yardbark Shark in that. I love Marky Mark.
So do I. But
he does make a few good films. I mean, we talked about a film.
So you totally feel it, yeah?
Dude, I feel it. I'm all about Marky Mark, the Aardvark.
So do you have any good vibrations for Transformers 5?
No, but if they do the big hit, a remake, do that.
Wow.
Do that remake. Michael Bay needs to do that with Marky Mark. Big hit, bring back Lou Diamond Cutter Phillips.
I love him,
that shit.
You'd like to see that as a recall.
You just quoted what I said about Diamond Cutter, right?
Yeah, I got it. No, it was. I just had a flash in my head of
someone doing breakdancing.
No, was it not Employee of the Month? It was video renter of the month, adult section.
So, just a side note. This is what Michael Bay should do. He should do the remake a buddy cop film that came out years ago. It came out in 1989. Right, this is where he needs to put his powers be moving forward. I realised this the other day. Someone needs to remake this movie and do it. Well, they won't do it better, but they'll just need to remake it for current day. A film called Renegades. Anybody seen it? Yeah. Kiefer the Kaiser Chief Sutherland and Lou Diamond Cutter Phillips. Right, get those two motherfuckers on that film, right? Now. The way they are now. If you haven't seen Designated Survivor, right, and you see that, oh shit, Kiefer Sutherland is still a bad man, then make that fucking movie. Michael Bay, I will suck all of the dicks if you make that movie. Make that film. Anyway, I'm sorry about Zedos gang swearing. I'm sorry, Joe, for you having to edit all of this out.
Over to you, Neil.
Wow. I mean, Transformers, you know what? I mean, well, firstly, in regards to what you were saying about the writer's room...
Does the writer's room give you hope?
You know what? No, it doesn't. Do you know why it doesn't give me hope? Because when you think about it, there is so many... It's very difficult to find a film that has one screenwriter.
Yeah.
Right? And when you look at a film and it'll say story by, screenplay by... You know what? Really and truly, if you delve into these films, you're gonna come across maybe there was 6 screenwriters and 7 screenwriters and 8 and 9 and 10. They don't have enough room on the screen for all the screenwriters involved. You know, I mean, I don't know if he's credited, but Joss Whedon is a screenwriter on X-Men 3. Yeah.
What, on X3?
X3.
You sure not X1?
No, X3.
Oh, I'm checking this.
Ooh.
You know, it's.
I know X3 was kind of
is,
loosely based on like some of his comic book ideas.
Yeah, no, because there's a thing where you have when you're doing screenwriting,
yeah.
screenwriting a film, you might have one particular person who comes up with the general overarching story.
Yeah.
Then you have another person who might be there to do dialogue. Then you'll have another person who might be there to add humor. Then you'll do another person who's there to add flipping, I don't know, maybe alter the beats of the movie. Yeah. Right? And then you could have...
Perfect example of that is what Kevin Smith talks about in Die Hard 4. When he worked with...
with Bruce Willis.
With Bruce Willis and all the writers that are on there, and the guy that wrote the T2, and then Skip, the bodybuilder. I think he was the writer.
Skip Woods, greatest script writer ever. Huh?
So, it's like...
I'll tell you this.
Okay. So it's just a simple thing of you could have tons of people working on a script, but it's the choices of who's going to be the person who, who's going to be the person who gets their name put down as the screenwriter is. Right. So I mean, when they have a writers' room, of course, with a writers' room, if you put 6, not even 6, if you put 3 screenwriters in a room together and give them one IP, you're gonna get at least 14 ideas, right? You can get 14 ideas, right? You're gonna get screenwriters who can, on their way to the toilet fart twice and come up with 4 ideas. It's not very hard.
Well, they've been working on these films for like a good 2-3 years now. They must have 14,000 ideas.
Oh yeah, but the thing is, well, look, let's be honest about this, right? Snakes on a Plane is a film that exists. Right? Regardless of whether you like it or you don't like it, it's a film that it exists. Right?
But that's not the only one.
Somebody came up with the idea of this film.
Yeah.
Now you can understand why you can have 14 different ideas for an IP, an international property, where you have how many different TV shows? How many different comic books, video games, toy lines? Right? Don't forget, we had Beast Wars. Now we've had Transformers. We've had Transformers: The Next Generation. We've had a ton of different ideas. It's like, we don't mention that.
GoBots.
Right?
Hey, GoBots were kind of like the Kmart Transformers.
Well, this is what I'm saying. You've had so many different iterations of Transformers that you could easily have 14 separate ideas. You think of Star Wars, right? You think of before Disney had their hands on it. Think of every different storyline involving Luke Skywalker or Princess Leia. That was just a book or a comic book or part of a video game, right? You could easily come up with 14 ideas for films based on that. So it's very easy. It doesn't give me hope, because what would give me hope is if they take, get a rough hand. Get someone who's, someone who's really eager. They're young, they're hungry, they really want to get into screenwriting. Get one of them, throw them in and say, all right, here's the property, do your thing. Right?
Or they should just get Kurtzman and Orsi back, which they should have done with the second movie, and get them to finish what they started. Because that first movie's still a good movie, in my opinion. It was the best out of all of them. But I don't know, Salmon, what do you think?
The thing is, it's hard when you have a collaboration of writers trying to do one thing.
Yeah.
Because if somebody needs to be in charge of something, so when you have an idea, you need to be given the power to go with it and do whatever you like with it, the full freedom of it, so you can do what your imagination, put that to paper, basically. You can go and help and ask for help from others, but you cannot ask others to all the time to take part within the story, to put in their ideas and fix it, because everybody would like to have ownership. See, ownership is pretty something very powerful for writers. Whatever they put down is it's their ownership on them. So you can't really, when you do that. I mean, for TV like sitcoms, it works because they need gags. What they're doing, they're writing gags and they put them down in a loose story base and then throw it out and see what works on screen. Because all they do is film and see whatever works, edit it together, boom, out onto TV. When you have these big movies where you're spending so much money, and then you have fans like us, who are sitting there waiting for this stuff to come out, especially when it's being redone, especially it's been picked up from comic books or like novels or other materials, you will hurt somebody because you can never do it the way they imagine it, because everybody has his own imagination. But that said, if you are going to write your own stories, give one particular person the power to do it, the guy and the girl, whoever the writer is, let them loose, let them do it, and then when they come back, you could put your nose into the work and see what works and what doesn't. Mm-hmm. But putting all of them together sounds like they're just basically trying to make a factory.
Yeah.
Trying to get as many crap, whatever they can get out of it, and see what will be picked up to make into a movie. Yeah. I doubt a lot of them will turn into anything.
I mean, that's the thing. I mean, like, I've said this a billion times on this podcast. Hasbro, our toys company, they don't care about the quality of the movie, just as long as the toys sell off the shelves.
Exactly.
And, I mean, that's why Transformers was made in the first place. I mean, like, we're never going to get the old Optimus Prime, which everybody wants on film. You know why? Okay, we kind of did in the last one, but, you know what I mean? We're not going to get those old characters looking the way they did, because they've already sold that action figure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what I'm looking for when I go into a Transformers film is a decent story. You know what I mean? Or something where you see more of the robots than the humans. You know what I mean? Which is something where we're not there yet, technology, where it's cheap enough to do yet. But because this franchise has made $1 billion, they see the need to carry on, you know what I mean, to carry on this.
The motivation is money. There's not material.
And that's just it. That's just it, unfortunately. Transformers is kind of like, the downfall of it is its own success, really, I feel. It's a product of its own success in a worst possible way.
Die a hero or live long enough to become a
villain. Yeah, pretty much. But, I mean, that's all I've got to really say about Transformers. Moving along now. Yeah. Dumbo. Yeah. Disney's Dumbo. The new Disney are doing this thing where, as we all know, they're more recently Beauty and the Beast is in theatres right now, but they're moving their eyes on Dumbo, directed by Tim Burton. Tim Burton's Dumbo reunites him with Michael Keaton, who's playing Van-Dammage, the circus owner, who seems to be the film's main villain, so he's the antagonist. What's your thoughts on Michael Keaton and Tim Burton reuniting and it not being Beetlejuice 2? And your thoughts on the new Dumbo movie? Neil?
You know what? I'm sorry. I don't care how bad this sounds. I generally don't care. I love Michael Keaton. I think he's one of the best actors of his generation because he can do comedy. He can do series. He can put you in a film. You know, Tim Burton. He's an author, right?
I don't know. Alice in Wonderland.
No. He makes. You watch a Tim Burton film, you know you're watching a Tim Burton film.
Of course.
So he's an auteur in that way, and you know he people watch his films because they're his films. I think it's a great role for Michael Keaton, but as I said, I don't really care because Disney are doing this thing right now of making live action films of all of their classics. Now, I watched Jungle Book and I watched Beauty and the Beast, and there are parts about those films which, well, first off, the Jungle Book, sorry Disney, I've got the original cartoon, so as you can imagine, any child around me will not be seeing your live action horror fest.
You didn't like the Jungle Book?
Dude.
I don't care. I
did
not
like
the
God.
I'm taking that mic off you right now.
No, I'm dead serious. I don't care.
How can you not like the Jungle Book? What the fuck?
I like the original Jungle Book. I'm sorry.
Like
the new one. I'm sorry.
I'm with you.
The new one is you're basically
give him the mic though.
Yeah. The new one is basically it's like okay, so we had the nice. You know what? The original one was the '60s Batman. The new one was the Dark Knight of it. Right? I'm sorry. I know people who took their children to see this film.
Yeah.
And those children were scared when they saw certain.
I don't blame them.
Well, you know, they're pussies, whatever.
I don't blame them because Idris rocked that film, man.
No, it wasn't Idris, right? It was freaking Scarlett Johansson's car. They were just like, no.
No, I'm going to tell you this.
I'm not down for that.
I'm going to tell you this. When Idris Elba's Shere Khan jumps out.
Motherfucker caught me twice.
There we go.
Right.
Jumps out. When Bagheera goes, run, and then he runs, and then he just comes out. Oh my god, I shat myself. I'm not gonna lie.
That film was so good.
Oh man, it was.
I'm gonna buy it on Blu-ray right now.
Dude, I own it on Blu-ray.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it right now. Whilst we're talking.
I love that film.
It wasn't a film for me. I just watched it and I thought, all right, yeah, you're a film, but that.
Yeah, you're a film.
You know that certain you get a certain feel when you think of old classic Disney films. Right?
Oh yeah.
When you look at those classic ones, like we're talking, you know,
Jungle Book, Dumbo, Cinderella, and Snow. These
are classics. You look, you know, I'm sorry, like. I'm glad that right now we're going to get a King Arthur film because it means that hopefully Disney ain't going to jump in and start messing around with Sword in the Stone, right?
Yeah.
But it's just a simple thing. We don't need them, right? What they're doing is Disney are making these live action remakes for, I don't know, teenage girls who are into Disney. Teenage girls right now who are into Disney.
And dollar signs.
And boys.
Well, they are dollar signs.
Yeah.
But children are dollar signs. You go buy your kid whatever they want to, man, and that's what the money comes from. And also that also gets people coming into their parks and everything and buying. See, they make more money out of merchandising. You know, merchandising from like clothing, from toys. For the parks,
of course, but it's just an easy way. It's just an easy way. Like you said, it's an easy way to make more. But right now, it's thinking like this, right? A couple of years ago, I'm thinking maybe at least 6 or 7 years ago. Could be even longer. It might even been. Yeah, it was 9 years ago. 9 years ago, I bought a cousin of mine. I bought her a King Louis plush toy, right? And she absolutely loved it.
Right.
There is no way in hell that I would have bought that Christopher Walken plush toy. Right? No, it wouldn't have gone down that way.
I know. Right. No, you ever watch cartoons nowadays? They look so different to the ours, you know, back
Yeah, no, I understand that, and I understand.
They look freaky and kind of, you know, I guess it was literally made by somebody who was on LSD. But, you know, there you go.
No, I get that, but it's just...
Okay, moving away from Jungle Book, Dumbo.
It's going to be the same thing.
Okay.
I mean, you know, it's gonna capture certain people. It's a Tim Burton film. I'm sorry, it's not a Disney film anymore. It's a Tim Burton film now. Right.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, that Elephants on Parade scene's going to be messed up.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Dumbo, maybe one of the movies, if I go to watch, I might start smoking something again.
You know who else is in this film, right?
Huh?
Do you know who's been cast so far?
Eva Green, Danny DeVito.
Colin Farrell.
Oh, Colin Farrell.
Okay. And Michael Keaton.
So that's a lot of...
that's going to be a good combination. Like, I'll totally watch that. Colin Farrell, Danny DeVito and Michael Keaton again under the direction of
Tim Burton.
Because I love Batman Returns.
Oh yeah.
Also, why was Eva Green not Catwoman? Just saying.
Yeah.
But Eva Green's hot as fuck.
Oh yeah, she is.
Because she's too young.
Yeah. How old was Eva Green to be Catwoman?
No, but he means in general.
Oh, you mean in
general?
Well, okay, Dark Knight. Yeah, why was she not Catwoman in?
Well, she could still be Catwoman now.
Why was she not Catwoman in The Dark Knight?
She could still be Catwoman now, though.
Have they picked up
Catwoman?
No. Huh?
I'm comfortable right now.
What do you mean you're comfortable?
He's sleeping.
I don't want to say it.
Oh well. Either way, she's 36, man. She's box. That chick is a smoke show. So it's going to be a good film. I reckon it'll be alright. I'll watch it. I mean, Disney ain't going to throw the money. Look, it's just got too much behind it. It's not going to suck. It'll make loads of money. Like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory with fucking Johnny Depp's a dog shit movie.
True.
But it made money. It made enough money for them to be like, yeah, let's just fucking make more.
True, but the thing is, in the past, and not too far.
By the way, is Alice in Wonderland a Disney film?
Yes.
Yeah.
It is. I can't remember if it's because it's not a Disney story though.
No,
most of them are.
It's
a Grimm story, isn't it?
He's not them.
They all are.
Are they?
Yeah. Well, think about it. I mean, you've got Jungle Book is your own.
Snow White, that fucking witch scared the shit out of me.
Snow White is a Grimm story.
Yeah, that's saying all of these are not Disney.
What do you call Jungle
even
Book?
a Lion King ain't Disney.
What's the British writer? What's his name?
What are you talking about?
Jungle Book.
Oh, Jungle Book.
Oh, Rudyard Kipling.
Yeah, there you go. So I mean, Disney writes like next to nothing.
Yeah, they just bought good stories.
Yeah, but the thing is, Disney I think Disney will make a good film. I think Disney behind it.
Well,
Dumbo would be a good film. It's a good adaptation. Tim Burton, he's a weird, kooky dude already.
He is. Yeah.
And Dumbo's a weird, quirky film. I just don't want to see elephants get abused. That just shit pisses me off. That shit just upsets me.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be a CGI
walking around with a
elephant.
cane and smacking an elephant. I'm not sure that's
but I don't think they're going to do that. But
Michael Keaton, you want to get nuts?
Hey, on a side note, do you remember that time Jason Scott Lee played Mowgli? Just saying.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, I'll meet you halfway, both of you guys. Here's the thing. I have no problem with Disney doing live action adaptations of their cartoon properties. I mean, they have been hit and miss though. I mean, like I thought Alice in Wonderland was dog shit. And it should have been, you know what, it should have been the greatest of all, because back in the 90s, everyone was like, I'd really like Tim Burton to do an Alice in Wonderland, because that shit would be fucked up. That used to be like a thing, everyone would say.
Yeah, but
and then we got
Tim Burton it would have been a good thing.
And then we got it, and it was like, well, what the hell is this? You know what I mean? Like,
it's just a lot of clowning.
It's just bad, man. Yeah. And then you think, you know what? The thing is though, okay, I'm glad Michael Keaton's in this, and that guy can do no wrong for me. But you know what? Like, Neil, you're wrong. The Jungle Book fucking rocked. Okay, and Beauty and the Beast was more or less like what Cinderella was, very picturesque of what the original movie was. They literally just paged the screen. Or, you know, copied it, basically.
Yeah.
Obviously, there were certain changes, but I felt those certain changes did well for what the movies were and stuff. In terms of Dumbo, my problem is it's written by Ethan Krieger, who wrote Transformers 2, Transformers 3, Transformers 4. Thank God he's not doing the fifth one, but I think I've made it
just
kind
a terrible
of...
guy when he given
He wrote the Ring
Not a terrible
remake.
guy, he just does terrible work.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? You know what they say, right? A broken clock is right twice a day. So.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. I'll give him Reindeer Games though.
Oh, there you go.
I'll give him Reindeer Games though. That's about it. But you know, that's the only alarm bell going off in my mind with this production. But yeah, Michael Keaton's a win. Okay, in my book. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see. But I mean, yeah. It'd be interesting to see what they do. Moving along though, The Creature from the Black Lagoon. Okay, Universal are doing also again shared universe time. They're doing a shared monsters universe.
Right.
If you guys know, so the Mummy's going to cross over with Dracula and all kinds of crazy stuff.
Oh really?
Yeah. Starting with
the movie with the Tom Cruise one that's coming out now.
Yeah. Okay. So that's going to be they're going to do them as individual movies, but they're going to cross them off like how the Marvel films are. It was originally going to start off with the Dracula one that came out,
right?
But that didn't make the money that they wanted to.
Wait a minute, which Dracula one?
What was it called? Dracula
Untold.
Yeah,
Dracula
that's
Untold.
the one with the dude
with Luke Evans.
Luke Evans. Yeah.
Oh, a couple of years ago. Oh, not a couple of years ago.
Yeah, a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
That wasn't really a good movie.
Yeah. Well, that's why it didn't make as much money as they thought, but they're still keeping with the idea though that they want it to be a shared universe. So they're starting it off with the Mummy. The Mummy that's coming out this year with Tom Cruise. The thing is, they're not sure whether because Chris Evans has risen in profile since as a movie star.
Luke
Yeah. So Luke Evans, sorry, and
no relation.
Yeah. But you know, they're still negotiating whether they're going to keep that interpretation of Dracula as part of that, if you know what I mean. But they might choose to remake it entirely, but you know, at the moment they're just focused on moving to the next monster, if you know what I mean. Now, this Creature in the Black Lagoon, they've just hired Will Beall, who's currently writing the Aquaman movie for DC, for Warner Brothers. He also is the writer of Monster Squad. So, if you've seen Monster...
Okay.
Yeah, Monster Squad. No, not Monster Squad. Gangster Squad.
Oh,
Gangster
that makes
Squad.
more sense.
Yeah, Gangster Squad and the Training Day TV series.
Oh, that's crap.
Was it rubbish?
Oh my god, it was so bad.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why I tried to watch it.
Oh, okay. He also wrote episodes of Castle as well.
Okay.
And currently writing the current draft of the new Conan movie starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. So he's writing.
Back to the roots.
So he's writing Creature in the Black Lagoon. This is being produced by Alex Kurtzman. There's no director yet attached. What do you guys feel about, a remake of the Creature of the Black Lagoon and this whole Monsters Universe thing? We're going to start off with Salmon first because Salmon hasn't started off in a while. We'll get to you starting off, Leo, in just a bit.
Okay. No, you guys, I have very little to say because I don't know anything about it.
So have you not seen the original?
I have not seen the original. Well, the thing is, I've seen bits and pieces of the original and I don't really remember it.
Yeah.
So for me, this will be introduction. I might as well not do this way. I mean, actually, I might as well do it this way and not watch the old one because it could, play a part in not me liking this one. But I'm for it. I want to see what they do. It sounds interesting. The Mummy, I know. The thing is, well, the Mummy has been done so many times. I wasn't really sure to watch it, but this particular thing has made me more interested in this. So let's see.
Leo?
Oh wow! Hold on a minute. Can you repeat the question? Sorry.
So, what's your thoughts on the Creature in the Black Lagoon being remade, being written by the
podcaster? Creature of the Black Lagoon.
Yeah,
I did read about this.
The creature from the Black Lagoon.
Well, whatever. The creature from the impolitically correct lagoon. Yeah. I saw the original a long time ago. And it resonated with me, but I don't really give a shit anymore. Sorry. I don't give a shit anymore because I'm more interested in how they do Aquaman. That makes sense?
Yeah.
It's the MonsterVerse. I mean, because they're doing two MonsterVerses, aren't they? They're doing the MonsterVerse with the kaijus.
Oh yeah,
Godzilla, Kong, and all that stuff, and then they're doing the MonsterVerse with the Universal monsters.
Yeah, because on the Universal,
and
that's
all
right.
that shit.
Well, those guys.
Unless they're gonna do the Monster Squad. Do you know what I mean? Like, unless they're doing, unless they're like gearing up to make an Avengers movie, which is basically just fucking Suicide Squad. Because this chick, the Mummy, just reminds me of the fucking Enchantress.
Oh yeah.
From Suicide Squad. So
you know what? Now you said it. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So I'm like, if that's where they're going with this, then yeah. Creature from the Black Lagoon, he's just basically going to be the Aquaman and / fucking crocodile of Suicide Squad. They're just going to make a water feature somewhere and they'll be like, oh, this is where he comes in handy. Like the Creature from the Black Lagoon, right? It's not, you know why it's not scary? Because it's like, man, I'm just going to walk up some fucking stairs into dry land, dude. That's it. Game over. Game over. You have a small period of a small window to attack me until you need to go back to the water. If you can't catch me, sucks to be you, bro. Yeah. That's it. It's not a scary thing. Like, it's scary if you're out in the middle of the water, but guess what? Lagoons aren't that fucking big, so it's like if he's from the Black Lagoon, guess what? I just stay away from the lagoon. Like, it's not.
Or you can just get an air balloon and put yourself on top of the lagoon.
I mean, if they're doing a film that's based around something like that, like a Swamp Thing kind of character, where he's like he just lives there and it's his thing, his species has been there for a long time. Like, it can be a good film. The ability for it to be a fun film does exist, but I'm not overly enthusiastic about it. I'm not gonna go out of my way. Dude, they may make a trailer that fucking blows me off my feet, and I go, oh shit, I'm gonna eat my words. But the Ghost in the Shell trailer was really good, and then that film was shit. So
I heard you guys say it a lot. Thank God I haven't gone and seen it. I mean, for me, these movies are basically popcorn movies. The movies that you really don't give a crap about when you come out. It's just that 2-hour escapism. If you can get it out of them and they don't piss you off, I'm all for them.
Neil?
See, I'm way different than you guys. I absolutely love and adore the original Universal monster films. That was the first shared universe there was. Right? They were doing this shit in the early freaking, the 30s, the 40s. They were doing these films. Right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're all black and white, and they did tons of them. They did, there was Dracula, and there was Dracula's daughter, and then there was, they've done the Wolfman, and then they've gone. It goes on and on. They've done all of them. You look it up, the Universal Monster Collection. There is at least 13, maybe 14 films in there. They have, in fact, about 3 films that cross over because they have Frankenstein meets the Wolfman. Then they've got, I think it's House of Dracula, which has got like 4 of them, and then they've got House of Frankenstein, which is like 5 of them.
Wow!
Right? So they were doing crossovers way back when. I'm not saying these crossovers were amazing from the standard because one of them did involve basically swapping the brains of Wolfman and Frankenstein.
Okay.
So I'm not saying these are must see films, but you know what, they reached the chord with me, and I love them. In regards to them doing a shared universe now, go ahead, go for it. If I'm honest, I think the only thing that kind of put me off in regards to The Mummy was that Tom Cruise is in it. I'm not saying Tom Cruise is a bad actor, but right now he seems to be going through this phase of how can I attempt to kill myself next. Right? He seems to be going through this phase. And
that's not exactly what I was thinking.
The films he does resonate in that. It's just like he's not okay. Yeah, he's the age he is, but he keeps himself in good shape. So yeah, you want to go climb up a building, do your thing. You want to hold on to a plane as it's taking off, go ahead, buddy. But keep it to one franchise, bro. Like keep it to your Mission Impossible. Call it, change it. Mission Impossible 7. How do I want to try and kill myself?
See, for me, the attractiveness of these movies is from the business perspective. Really. It's studios against studios. It's Universal's, what I call monster movie mashup with the Warner Brothers DCs to the Marvels, Avengers, and the Fox poorly Marvels. Fantastic Four, X-Men stuff. I think it's
I mean, I'm absolutely I'm going to watch The Mummy, and absolutely when it comes out I'm going to watch Creature from the Black Lagoon because of all of those kind of monster movies. Creature from the Black Lagoon was one that was really different than the rest.
Right.
But
yeah,
I mean, I'm sure it will be a film that will be liked by some people, and I'm sure it's going to be a film that's going to be hated by some people.
Right.
I'm intrigued. I mean, like I've not discrediting this thing just yet, and like to be quite honest, there hasn't been a remake of the Black Lagoon creature ever.
Yeah, it's always been. They made the sequel.
Yeah, so what I mean. That's kind of intriguing to me because modern day audience haven't seen that on that aspect in terms of them. In terms of them crossing over like all these characters and stuff. This before the MCU even began. They've been trying really hard to resurrect their franchises. You had the Wolfman 10 years ago. And you know what? They also had Van Helsing. Van Helsing was supposed to be a huge franchise for them with Hugh Jackman. And you know what? I remember really wanting to see that film. The trailers looked great. And then I saw the movie and it was fucking shite. I mean, you know what? I felt that would have been a good way to introduce half these creatures. You just should have had Van Helsing and him fight a different Universal monster rather than cram them all in one. You know what I mean? Like, I think that would have been that would have been a really cool franchise. In fact, you know what, they should reboot that and do it that way. Have Van Helsing and just have it like versus boom the Mummy or versus, you know what I mean, and like fuck it. Get Hugh Jackman back, man, because I felt he wasn't what was wrong about that movie. I just felt the story and everything.
The story
else
kind of let it down. Half-assed.
It was a cool idea. It was a cool idea, but I don't know, man. We'll have to see. I mean, Creature of Black Lagoon, I'm totally digging it. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how they go about. I mean, Tom Cruise's Mummy comes out this year. I'm sure we're all going to go catch it at some point, and then we can give it its 2 cents and whatnot, and go whether it's yay or nay or not. But moving swiftly along, Star Wars Episode 9 news hit this week. Carrie Fisher returns for Episode 9 through footage that was previously shot for Episodes 7 and 8. And Lucasfilm and Disney have full endorsements from Billie Lourd, her daughter, and her brother Eddie Fisher they've totally agreed to use the likeness, and even to a point of CGI and stuff, they're totally behind it because they feel that her character was bigger than Fisher herself. What are you guys' thoughts about this? Were you guys anti the use of CGI or the use of old footage for episode 9? Do you guys feel that this is kind of like a foo, she's not being written out in any kind of way, and they're sticking to the original plan of what it was they're going to be doing? Because it really was about episode 9 being affected here, because they'd shot everything for episode 8. All of the footage was shot for episode 8. So what you're going to see in the current movie this year is going to be 100% her, no CGI trickery. It's just the next one they haven't even begun filming. What's your thoughts, Leo? You get to lead on this one, being the non-Star Wars fan.
If they is the technology there? It's never really been 100% there. Is it there? Because
but if it's old footage,
I thought it was there very briefly when until upon further watchings with Tron.
Oh yeah.
Right. I was like, oh man, it fucking Jeff Bridges played from the 80s. Oh shit. And then you watch it, you're like, oh, Jeff Bridges was like a mannequin. It was really upset. Look, there were bits that they did it in Rogue One.
Yeah.
Where I was like, okay, they fucking, it looked legit, right?
But then there were other bits.
I'm like, oh, it looks like fucking Captain Scarlet. It's a tough one.
They're using old footage. They're not using CGI.
Okay, so I've seen this used tastefully once.
Yeah.
Just once with Audrey Hepburn.
Yeah.
In a Chocolate Galaxy advert.
Oh yeah.
When she's in the car.
Oh yeah.
That's when I've seen that when they've merged old footage and new footage.
Yeah.
That's when I've seen it done tastefully and well.
Yeah.
Other iterations of that are the Singing in the Rain Citroen advert.
Yeah.
And the I'm in Forrest Gump. Do I want them to do it? They kind of have to.
Yeah, they kind of have to.
But should they? I don't know. It depends on what Carrie Fisher's estate is saying.
Well, they're saying They're saying They're totally. Then here's the thing: we're talking about a girl.
It's done right.
We're talking about a woman that's totally pro this. I mean, Carrie Fisher would never have had a problem. I mean, her urn was a Prozac pill, for Christ's sake,
Sorry?
Her urn was a Prozac pill.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That was her wish. She was like, I want to be a Prozac pill.
A giant Prozac pill.
A giant Prozac pill as an urn.
Wow. We'll see what they do. I mean, if they do it, it's got to be done right. Otherwise, don't bother doing it.
Yeah.
It's future. They're not going to write her out. That's what you said, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Writing her out.
They're not writing her out.
So it's important for you to have it right. If it means you've got to hold the movie back a little bit longer to get it right, and technology's got to be there to do it, then you've got to make that decision whether you do it or you don't do it. It's difficult.
Yeah.
It's a difficult one to answer for me. I will watch it.
Yeah. For
sure, and to see how they perform and whether or not it's good or not, but it's completely down to it's out of my hands. it's above my pay grade.
Any of this in our hands, man.
Yeah, it's above my pay grade, but like I said, the technology and the money has to be there. Otherwise, don't fucking bother.
Salmon?
I think it's a win for the studios because, I mean, they don't have to rewrite anything, really. But, I mean, the family's allowed it, that's cool. I agree with him with saying that it has to be done right.
Who the fuck is him?
Because I say him because I've forgotten y'all names. I'm joking.
My name's Neil.
I know. I was joking. Neil. Oh, what a call.
I'm Leo.
I know. I've been calling him. They would have called that all night. Anyway, but the thing is, at the end of the day, I'm going back to this. I'm trying to sell this. I believe that the fans may enjoy the fact that she's still around, sort of a thing.
Yeah.
And the fact that Star Wars is her, man. It's her and Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford. You can't have Star Wars without them, especially if it's the same story.
Yeah.
Watch episode 8.
I know. I know they're going to change it, but I mean, as long as they change it within the story. So.
For me, I don't. Do you know what? I'll be honest. I don't see anything wrong with this because this isn't a Rogue One situation where you're trying to merge footage that was shot 70 years ago, or you're trying to take someone of what they look like 30, 40 years ago, and saying, okay, we need to get what you look like then. You're taking an actress who, you know, it's unfortunate she's passed away, but you're taking footage from someone who only passed away last year. You're taking so what you're doing is taking what they look like now, what people expected them to look like, what people have seen them look like, and putting it in a new film. You know, I mean, Laurence Olivier, he died during the filming of Gladiator. They used footage of him after he died in Gladiator.
You mean Oliver Reed, right?
Oliver, yes. My apologies. I
was going to say, I was like, huh? He was a Gladiator.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah, Oliver Reed, right? There's footage towards the end of the film. There's footage of him. Some of it is him, and others are stunt doubles and whatnot. Yeah. But it's they used footage of him. Yeah. So, to be honest, I didn't realize where they inserted that footage until I had it on Blu-ray and it's like super crystal clear. Yeah. Yeah. Now, with today's technology, I'm pretty sure that they're going to do what they need to do to make sure it's crystal clear. The only issues are going to be the fact that we know Carrie Fisher has passed away. Yeah. So when we watch the film, it's like, okay, you know,
we're going to scrutinize
it because of it. Yeah. It's like when I watched Fast and Furious 7, you know, all right, Paul Walker died halfway through filming. Now, to be honest, they kind of got away with it because they used his brothers, and both of his brothers look ridiculously like him.
Yeah, but you could tell a lot of
but there's only they were sharp enough that it's only the very end.
That last
like,
shot.
Wow, that's not Paul Walker
totally.
in that car. You know. Other than that, it's
even then it still kind of looked pretty good.
It looked like him and it looked good, but again, I guess maybe it's the fact of the emotional content with it. When you see, you know, you knew he died, and it was like, here's the send off to him. So everybody watched it, and you felt it because he died, and this is like the goodbye to him because he's passed away. Yeah. Right. Whereas with Carrie Fisher, it's not. Here's the goodbye to Carrie Fisher. We're not going to see her, you know, in episode 8, and then she's going to be like, you know what, this is my last rodeo. I've got to go. You know, you'll do good in you know, episode 9. Right, this isn't her swan song, so to speak. Yeah. So the kind of feeling isn't there, but you know, they're not like I said, they're not dealing with footage which is like 15, 20, 30 years old. So it should be fine. The only thing is now is by using this old footage, it's what she says, the thing she's talking about now. So now it's like because you said they're not really going to have to rewrite anything. I think now they are going to have to alter whatever those scenes are that they have of her. They need to alter that so that fits in to what is going on over the course of that film.
I'm going to say this: if she ignites a lightsaber and fights someone, that ain't her. Moving along though. Arnold Schwarzenegger has joined Sylvester Stallone and has left Expendables 4, citing "No Sly, no Arnold."
Anybody cares for this? I mean,
you know what? Really? I'm gonna be straightforward about it.
Can I just say one thing? Sorry, Expendables reached its peak when they got Van Damme in there. After Van Damme, I don't see where they can go. Like,
I totally
once
agree
you reach
with
that
you.
pinnacle, you got. Listen, they got Chuck Norris up in that bitch. Van Damme, they killed fucking one of the Hemsworth brothers. I mean, it's like a fantasy. It's what you wanted, right? You wanted, and you got to see a lot more action from Stallone, from fucking
Willis.
Arnie, from Willis.
Yeah.
You got to see Van Damme do the fucking kick.
Yeah.
What the fuck else do you want from a fucking movie? That's it. Let people leave. It's okay.
Should have been directed by Michael Bay.
I think it's finished.
They are. I mean, Stallone. I can't look at his face anymore. How many surgeries has he had? I mean, seriously, he's gone pink, and their stuff has been literally drawn onto his face now. But anyway, I digress. Go ahead.
There you go. You know what, to be honest, they should have just cut it at Expendables 3. They did Expendables 3, and they had, it's like, okay, the old generation are kind of moving back because they're getting old.
Oh man, that film was bad.
You've got the new generation coming in.
One?
Yeah, there was the one with Mel Gibson as the bad guy.
Oh yeah, I forgot that. I remember that now. I really forgot that happened.
Yeah, there's a reason.
Yeah, like now that you're saying, I'm like, oh my god, it's like I'm having like intermittent flashbacks of him just being like a badass.
It was the movie where it had some good moments in it, but the actual movie as a whole was like, it's like, what was the point of those young people, man? I mean, like,
do you know what the point of those young people were? The young people were in it
to bring the youngster to walk.
Fucking Antonio Banderas is in that movie.
Yeah, he was good.
Yes, I just remembered.
They weren't,
and he was good in it.
They were in it.
He was actually good.
Is to say it's the passing of the torch, and to me, the only reason you want to pass the torch is when you want to stop.
Yeah, but why? They're back though.
Right.
Do you know the best? You ever seen the best passing of a torch in a movie like that? What? Was when Arnie passed the torch to The Rock in the Rundown.
Oh, yeah.
Very a 2-second thing is like
enjoy the party.
That's it. That's what he says.
Welcome
to
to
enjoy
the
the
party.
party as he walks past him, and I was like, what the fuck just happened? Yeah, it was fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger. Anyway, I'll shut up now.
But no,
anyway, I'm out. I'm no longer going to be in any more Expendables. They shit anyway. Go see my new movie. Go see my new movie now.
Aftermath or some shit?
Called Aftermath. I'm going to find the person that killed my family on a plane.
Do you know what? Yeah, you know when
wasn't that Collateral Damage?
No,
no,
you know when Arnie? No, that was Passenger 57.
I'll show you the trailer to it after.
You know when Arnie wants to do like a pretty decent acting role, he can actually do it. Like in End of Days, it wasn't that bad.
It was called Maggie. You should see my movie Maggie.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. I acted it and everything, but nobody saw it because there was no goddamn machine guns and zombies in it, but it wasn't Resident Evil.
Okay, alright. The zombies, get to the chopper now. Right, okay. I mean, ultimately, I am surprised by his acting chops. He does have the ability to do some good acting roles.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. I forget that he can actually act sometimes, occasionally.
He has good screen presence. It's been nice.
Yeah.
When he was pumping iron, the stuff he did to Lou Ferrigno.
Yeah, he mind fucked him in that. I watched that recently as well. Again, he mind fucked Lou Ferrigno. He but Lou Ferrigno's not the sharpest tool in the box either, you know. He's like, I'm really, to be fair, I'm not going to badmouth him because he might beat me up. He might.
He'll Hulk out.
He has the money to find me.
Yeah.
Find me and be like, yeah, I'm going to fuck your shit up. Well, he'll say it differently. But you know. Anyway, I'm making fun of deaf people, but they can't hear this anyway.
Moving along. Moving along.
Oh God.
Okay, well, let's move on.
Move on.
We'll just
okay. So, Dune, the reboot, the remake.
The remake?
Yeah, they're remaking Dune.
Oh.
This adaptation is being directed by Denis Villeneuve. I've totally fucked this guy's name. But you know what? That's the one. Here's the thing. This is a passion project for him. He loves this material. He has said this in interviews and stuff, but he's never said he was going to direct it up until recently. Now, this guy hasn't made a shit film. In my opinion, he has not made a shit film. Prisoners was awesome. Sicario was great. Arrival was really good.
Brilliant.
Yeah, exactly. And those are his past 3 recent films. He's taking a break at the moment because he wants to get Dune 100% right. He doesn't want to rush into it. He doesn't want the studio rushing into it. And he's just hired Eric Roth, the writer of Forrest Gump, The Good Shepherd, The Insider, and The Curious Case of Benjamin Button to co-write the screenplay with him. What are you guys' thoughts on a Dune remake?
I'm down with that, as long as there's no stinging weird pants.
Yeah.
I'm good with that. It'd be good to see a good Dune film.
Yeah, I know, right?
Dune's a fucking painfully long film.
I actually don't like the film.
Neither do
I thought it sucked.
It is painful.
I've read the book. I love the book.
That film is plagued with a lot of problems.
Yeah.
There's a lot of script writing problems, like backstory. Watch, and I know Joe will love the fact that I do this. Oliver Harper's retrospective on Dune. because Joe's a big fan of Oliver Harper.
Uh-huh.
So if anybody wants to check that out, just go on YouTube and check that out. It's really, really good. It's really interesting. But I would totally be down for seeing a good decent remake
totally.
of Room.
And plus,
of
this
Doom,
guy.
sorry,
Okay,
Room?
the only thing is though,
Room?
he has
Doom.
not made, in my opinion, a crap film yet. But here's the thing: he's directed the Blade Runner sequel, and I love Blade Runner. If he drops the ball on this, that's a big ball to drop. And then I'm probably going to think differently about him doing Dune. Yeah. But at the same time, you know what I mean? I've yet to see a decent Dune. I've seen a great Blade Runner. But, Neil, what's your thoughts on this?
Okay, do me a favour. Tell me this director's last 3 films again.
Sicario... Hang on, wait. I've got it in front of me. Arrival, Sicario...
Prisoners.
Enemy, Prisoners.
Alright, cool. So, the last couple of films he made...
Yep.
Are essentially films that kind of just came out of the blue. When I say that, I mean it's not like they weren't like beloved books or they weren't beloved comic, right? So in other words, they didn't have beloved fans eyeballing them, and they didn't have, you know, studio pressure, you know, mounting on top of them.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. There's a first time film ready to make an error.
Yeah. That is true.
Now, I mean, to be honest, I mean, I watched Dune. I wasn't greatly impressed with it. I thought it was tremendously long. But at the same time, I had no affiliation to Dune prior to watching the film. I knew the film existed. I watched it, and that was it. But to me, it's like everyone I know who's ever come across, whoever is a fan of Dune, who's read the books and whatnot, they're like, no, I don't want a film. I want a TV show of it. You know, I want a proper, well done TV show. Like, you know, you give it the wide berth that you gave, say, Game of Thrones, right? You give it 7 seasons. You give it an hour long every episode.
There actually was a mini-series of Dune.
No, I know there was a mini-series, but you put proper hard work into making it, and then we're going to be good. I don't know. I think, to be honest with you, the way studios are nowadays, to be honest, the way like Hollywood is leaking money right now. They're always leaking money, but right now they're leaking it more than usual, and it's just. I just foresee them rushing it. I foresee them rushing the film. Foresee them. They're gonna make, you know, weird acting choices. Like, I'm sorry, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if like Rihanna gets a cameo or some shit.
Well, there's no set release date, and he's been attached to this for the past like 6 months now. Mm-hmm. He hasn't made a move on it because he's finishing up on Blade Runner, and they've given him all the time he needs to make it, and he's taking a break at the moment.
Well, to be honest, they've given him all the time.
If this was something,
there's a whole bunch of stuff coming out.
Yeah, but even still, I mean, like from the moment they attach a director, usually to a project, the release date's already set in stone, and that's the general norm with these things, and that's usually like 2 years from now. Or a year and a half from now.
Well, maybe they're giving him that berth because obviously everybody, you know, it's like everyone knows how big Blade Runner is.
Yeah.
And how big the Blade Runner sequel is going to be.
Yeah.
Right? Whether it's good or bad, it's another thing, but it's going to be massive regardless.
Well,
so they're probably giving him that berth, and they're like, you know what, you're attached to the film, we're going to see how Blade Runner does.
Yeah.
If Blade Runner is awful, if people hate Blade Runner, then I wouldn't be surprised if creative differences come up in why he doesn't make
Dune. Yeah, maybe. But, what's your thoughts, Salmon?
Well, I remember watching Dune. I remember falling asleep every time I started the damn movie. So I decided to watch the miniseries. It's a little better. But I do, admit that the idea of miniseries, or actually of series, might do well, because there's a lot of material to cover.
Oh yeah, totally.
So I'm not sure how they're going to tackle this. Are they tackling it as a franchise, you know, with a couple of projects that are a one-off? So it all depends. Plus, Dude, the fact is, I'm not a fan of the books because I haven't read them, not because I have anything against them. So I don't really have a say in this. All I will say is, like, if it comes out, I'll watch it. If it's good, cool. If not, well, what can we do?
Okay, so moving swiftly along, they're doing a what's his name? Dick Cheney?
Dick Cheney movie.
Dick Cheney. There we go, Dick Cheney.
I don't give a
Cheney
shit.
movie.
Yeah, let's go. Ignore this, because Dick Cheney movie, unbelievable.
For those that don't know,
he was a vice president to America when Bush was in
there we
administration.
Go. There we go. Vice
he
president.
Is the world. He's like, well, basically, to me, he is Hitler 0.20. Just a bit business savvy. The guy launched so many wars. I mean, unbelievable. Who the heck cares?
So Christian Bale stars as Hitler 0.20. It also stars Steve Carell and Amy Adams. It's being directed by Adam McKay. Sticking with the political aspect here after doing The Big Short and producing War Dogs. For those that don't know Adam McKay, he's famous for doing Anchorman, Talladega Nights.
Yeah.
You know, all of those funny Will Ferrell movies, the good Will Ferrell movies, I might add.
Yeah.
Step Brothers as well. But, yeah, I quite liked The Big Short, and War Dogs I thought was really underrated. That's what I thought. I don't know, what did you guys think of those two films?
Love War Dogs. Love War Dogs.
I actually haven't seen War Dogs, but I have seen The Big Short, which was brilliant.
Yeah.
So if it's anything like that, like if it's exposing what he's done,
yeah,
then I'm all for it.
Well, that's just it. I think he's maturing as a director now, and these are kind of the films that he wants to do now. You know what I mean? Like that. I'm sure he'll produce the comedies because he's still producing comedies and stuff.
Yeah.
But in terms of directing, I think this is his next step. You know what I mean? This is the ballpark he wants to play in. But you know what? If it's anything like The Big Short, you know, Bale's a fucking great actor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? One of the best ever.
Yeah.
And like, you know, Steve Carell has some serious acting chops on him, especially after Foxcatcher, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god. But like, yeah, be interested to see what they pull out, or at least I feel so. What's your thoughts, Leo?
Sorry, I'm texting my girlfriend. Can you repeat the question?
Dick Cheney movie, what do you think?
Oh, fuck that dude. Do you know how much of a crook that guy is?
Oh.
He's the worst guy.
Oh yeah.
So basically, he's the devil. I don't know if you know that, and I'll explain to you why. I hope they talk about it. Is he in support of this?
I don't know. We just know he's making a movie about.
Who's starring?
Christian Bale, Steve Carell.
Christian Bale. Fuck that dude. Basically, this is why Dick Cheney's an asshole, because they started a war, and then the company that picked up the contract was his company.
Not just one. 157 contracts to his name.
There you go. What a piece of shit. Fuck this dude.
Yeah.
Also, he doesn't have a pulse. So,
no.
That's right?
Yeah.
He's got a cyber heart.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a pulse. They had to take his heart out and they put a fucking robot heart inside. Yeah.
Well, if Magneto was a real person, he'd be fucked.
And dude doesn't have a heart. Like, legit doesn't have a heart. Guys,
you don't need Magneto.
And in recent history, he is one of the only vice presidents who has actually shot a man and come back to work the next day.
He's a piece of shit, man. Don't make the film. Don't glorify his life in any way, shape, or form.
I hope that glorification is more of exposing.
It won't be an expose. Yeah, it won't be. They won't make. He's already infamous.
If it is not, then yeah.
He's already infamous. The guy's a fucking piece of shit. Yeah. I don't want to see the film. I don't want anybody to talk about him. But anyway, there you go. Sorry, I was paying attention, but
yeah, your mind switched off, and
yeah,
you're just like Louise. They're talking about Dick Cheney. I can't believe they're talking about Dick Cheney.
No, we're fucking dude. I have a baby coming in less than fucking 20 days. Okay.
Oh damn!
What are you doing here?
Well, I knew, but I didn't know it was 20 days.
You know this. You've been to my house.
Yeah, I know.
I realised it was so soon.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, the kids fucking do at the beginning of May. So, what am I doing here? Try living with a pregnant woman. So that's what I'm doing here. No, dude. Yeah, I mean it's all good. She gets it. I mean she's chilling at home watching TV. She's on maternity.
Joking. Do you know what are you having?
Huh?
You know what are you having?
An arsehole.
Oh, brilliant.
There'll be an arsehole formed around, like it'll be a human being formed around an arsehole in the shape of a boy. So it's going to be a boy.
There you go.
So Neil, your thoughts?
My thoughts on the Dick Cheney movie go as follows. I would like to see a film on Joe Biden. That's it. And I want to see this film littered with all of the memes that go around about Joe Biden. If you don't know, Joe Biden is the vice president to Obama, who was the vice president to Obama, and when if you follow anything political, there was a shit ton of memes that were coming out about Joe Biden from when Trump got elected, and most of them were hilarious, you know, and Joe Biden just seems like that guy who deserves a film about him. I mean, if we're talking about political figures, he just seems like a guy who deserves a film about him. Whereas Dick Cheney, I mean, you know, you said it yourself, he shot a man and came to work the next day, and we're not talking about a man who is a police officer.
Well, he was saying I was hunting and the gun fell out of his hands and shot the guy in front of him. Whatever. I think he shot the guy in the ass or something.
So the gun fell out of his hands and managed to shoot someone. Yep. You know, this is why they say guns don't kill people.
Trees kill people.
Okay, last topic of the night, and this is one I think Leo and Neil both like. 2019 is the year of the bat, officially. Okay, so DC have got all their DC properties and stuff. They've decided to release on the same year all the Batman properties. Kicking off that will be Gotham City Sirens, followed by Nightwing, followed by Josh Whedon's Batgirl, then following up at the end of the year, The Batman, directed by Matt Reeves, starring Ben Affleck. Guys, thoughts about... Oh yeah, the reason why they're doing this all in one year, it's the Dark Knight's 90th anniversary. Thoughts on all of these films and the year of the bat. Personally, I thought the year of the bat was 1989, but... You know.
I'll go ahead, because Neil's he's on this shit big time. Okay, year of the bat. Warner Brothers are planning to release Gotham City Sirens.
Yeah.
Is that a TV show? That's
No.
a spin-off movie, right?
No, it's a spin-off movie. So basically, Gotham City Sirens is... it started off as the Harley Quinn movie.
Yeah.
And then they decided, hang on, let's put in Catwoman and Poison Ivy in there as well.
I don't care about that movie.
No, I don't care about it either.
Nobody cares about that film. I personally don't give a shit about it. I did... Thing is, I had heard that they were talking about it after the after the Batman stuff. Make it a TV series. It'd be more compelling. You can't tell that story with three fucking characters.
It was.
Was it?
It was a TV show.
Fucking when?
I think early 2000s.
Redo it again. Fucking do that. Because
it was weird though, because they had
just so that
you got like Batgirl was like the daughter of Catwoman.
Just so that you guys know, David.
Batgirl is fucking Commissioner Gordon's daughter. Spoiler alert. Depending on which Batgirl, could be fucking Joel Schumacher's Batgirl, and it's fucking Alfred's kid. Or Alfred's. Is that Alfred's daughter? His niece or some shit? Yeah, some shit. Anyway, fuck that movie. Nightwing. Who are they talking to be Nightwing?
I haven't a clue.
Some people are talking about Zac Efron.
That was a rumour, but...
And I like Zac Efron. Yeah. I reckon he'd be a good Nightwing. He'd be a good fucking Robin.
He'd be a terrible Nightwing.
No,
I'll tell you why.
Guys. Yeah. Here's the rundown. Okay, with Gotham City Sirens, that's being directed by David Ayer, that did Suicide Squad. With what was it? Nightwing, it's being directed by Chris McKay, who just did the Lego Batman movie.
Okay. Here's okay. Just before we we go on Josh Whedon Batgirl, which I reckon will be good.
I think it'll be good.
Here's my problem, right? The Batman.
The Batman.
Batfleck Batman. Yeah, Matt Reeves. Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
All of this shit going on with Ben Affleck was going to direct, and then his words were like, "I won't ever direct unless I don't believe in the script.
Yeah.
Like I won't stop." And then all of a sudden he's like, "I'm out." Like I feel like now, from what I've seen, Ben Affleck has his foot out the door. He's like, "These fucking dudes at WB are crazy. John Peters won't leave me the fuck alone." He said he wants a giant fucking spider at the end of the film. All this stupid shit. I don't have any confidence in the franchise right now. I don't have any confidence. I'm really hoping that the fucking DC the Justice League movie is going to be great.
Yeah.
Because it's not like you just need. Warner Brothers used to be like, okay, we're done wasting money on this fucking thing. Like, but you know, some of you might not agree with me. That's fine, but my issue is it all leads up to the Batman, and if the Batman's shit, if all the other stuff is shit that's building around that universe, then guess what? Batman's going to be shit.
You got to understand. I mean, Batman. Okay, out of all
it's such an important franchise.
Exactly.
Don't fuck it up.
This is their golden egg. Okay. Here's the thing. For the WB, they have two big grade A jewels. One's being very looked after, and that's the Harry Potter franchise. But outside of Harry Potter, it's Batman. Forget Batman, Superman. Forget Flash. Forget all of these guys. Fuck all these guys. Fuck even the DCU. Batman is the golden egg.
Yeah.
Okay.
Batman's even bigger than Superman according to WB, man.
Yeah, I mean,
time.
exactly. Hence why it's called Batman.
No one cuts a fucking Superman logo into the back of their head, but when Batman came out, every motherfucker was doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Michael Keaton, fucking bring Michael Keaton back as Batman. Fuck Ben Affleck. Do Michael Keaton, bring him back.
You ever hear about the stories from Spider-Man: Homecoming?
Huh?
You ever hear about this? Every time, like the kid that's playing Spider-Man now is like, "I'm Spider-Man." Michael Keaton just be so on Batman.
Yeah.
The whole time, just trolling him.
Yeah, I mean, oh god, that's just going to be Iron Man 4, isn't it? That's wrong.
Yeah.
That's the jokes.
Featuring Spider-Man.
Featuring Spider-Man as a side note. Look, it all to me, like all those other films, kind of hinge on the fact that the Batman is good.
Well, this is just it. I mean, like, here's the thing. Joe, what's the guy playing Deathstroke? Joe...
Yeah, whatever his name is.
Now, here's
the guy from How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah, he's going from... Yeah, I'm confidently in this film too. I don't even know whether I'm in this movie anymore. Yeah. And the rumours is now, he was originally going to be the main villain. Now he's a side villain. Do you know what I mean? And that's like... No, here's the thing. They've pushed it back.
That's my input, by the way.
Here's the thing. All right.
Neil's like, I'm ready.
Here's the thing. In terms of the Batman, forget thoughts about the DCU, but because you brought on the thoughts of the Batman, they pushed the release date back a year now. And because originally it was going to come out in 2018. Now, with Ben Affleck directing. Now, here's the thing, okay? If they kept to the 2018 release date, I would have been like, yeah, this movie's in a lot of trouble. The only thing I could say is, even though I don't agree with half the changes and whatnot, they obviously weren't on point with Ben Affleck's script. You got to understand this, okay, from people with money that are funding the movies projects. And I'm not pro them by any means at the best of times, but I understand it. I understand the mentality. Affleck, as much as I love him, in their world, was making a lot of crazy decisions. Not crazy to us, the fans. He did common sense stuff. Like, he took a guy that wrote the comic books and made him his co-script writer. So they were both writing the scripts. Now, whatever they showed the WB got them real scared. Because you got to understand, Deathstroke is not a well-known villain to the mass audiences. Okay, the WB are looking for popular villains, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, but that's a problem.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're right. But this is the point. I mean, like, I remember when they were doing The Dark Knight Rises, they were pressurizing Chris Nolan to do the Riddler as the follow-up villain for the Joker, and then all these rumours were, and half of these rumours were true because they wanted Leonardo DiCaprio to play the Riddler and stuff, and Nolan was like, fuck no, I'm Christopher Nolan, well fine, I don't need to direct another Batman movie, I'm not contracted to direct another Batman movie, but they didn't want anyone else directing a Batman movie except for Christopher Nolan. Why? Because he'd proven himself to them time and time again. You know what I mean? He was never contracted to do free picture deal. Man did what he wanted, he earned his stripes on that first Batman movie, succeeded it to the next level on The Dark Knight, and then it was kind of like, no, we need him for the next one. You know what I mean? And, you know, he did what he wanted with that movie, regardless whether you liked it or hated Bane or whatever. Yeah. You know, I didn't really like Bane, but, you know, whatever. I know some people that did, like Joe. But, you know what I mean? Like, you know, that it was what it was. You know what I mean? But Nolan did his thing. Now, you see, Batman is under lock and key because it's a new iteration. And, yeah, Ben Affleck is a capable director, very capable director, etc. But this is where Warner Brothers shat their load. His last movie that came out,
Live by Night.
Live by Night. Okay, as a director, bombed. It bombed.
Yeah.
No one saw that movie. I saw that movie. Okay, I saw that movie too. But I didn't pay for it. But you know what I mean? Like, no one saw that movie. It was a good fucking movie.
Yeah.
But the thing was, that bombed. That was their leverage to turn around and go, we lack confidence in this project because you are doing all these alarm bell moves that we don't agree with. You're not taking a screenwriter that writes films. You're taking a comic book dude. You know what I mean? I know that stuff speaks to us as fans, but to these old men with their checkbooks, that's like crazy talk. John Peters losing his mind. You know what I mean? It's like, what are they doing? There's no spiders. Oh my God. You know what I mean? Whatever. You know what I mean? Just like...
But that's the thing. They have a brilliant example in front of them, which is Marvel.
Yeah, that's just it. But they want their stamp on these things, and that's the thing. Now, Matt Reeves is the current director. He's a very competent director. Okay, the Apes films are fantastic. I quite liked Cloverfield myself. My only problem with Matt Reeves is, you know what I mean, he's very much a studio man. Right. You know what I mean? Like, he's never done something that's his own, where he's like, this is a Matt Reeves movies. Because the Planet of the Apes movies are very much like what Fox want. You know what I mean? All the producers at Fox want. Cloverfield was whatever J.J. Abrams really wanted. Even though his name was the director, he wasn't really the scriptwriter or, you know, the main guy. You know what I mean? It was very J.J. driven. Now, you know what I mean? That's why they got him for the Batman, because they wanted a yes man rather than an auteur. You know what I mean? Like, you're never going to get a Scorsese Batman or a Quentin Tarantino Batman. No. You know what I mean? But do you see what I mean here? Now,
they wanted a yes man.
They wanted a yes man. They've got a yes man. Now, obviously, they are writing their own script with their own writer, Chris Terrio, that did Batman vs Superman, which kind of gives me ooh kind of thing. But then outside of Batman versus Superman, Chris Terrio has written some really good movies as well. You know what I mean? Like, he's an Oscar winning writer as well. So do you know what I mean? He's a capable writer because he writes films. Yeah. So, you know, at the moment, them pushing the movie back another year so that they can reset everything to make a decent movie that pleases them, that makes me think, even though I'm disappointed that they didn't go with Affleck and those guys, at least they aren't shoehorning it in, which is something Fox is renowned for doing and everyone under the sun is. At least they're not shoehorning it, going, no, we're keeping the 2018 release date no matter what. We're changing up the script. We're only going to take like a week to write the script. You know what I mean? They're taking a whole fucking year to get this right. Or right to a degree, and I'm anti DC after BVS, so this takes and you know, I've been renowned on this podcast for slagging off the Batman and the shit that's going down, but only because they've taken that extra year out. And do you see what they're doing here? They're hyping the movie up by putting all these IPs in a row, and if you think about
that's
it,
a problem.
But at the same time, all these IPs. You know what I mean? They've also got the same 3-year, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Which
is a lot longer than a lot of other IPs. And if you look, they've already got their teams in play. You know what I mean? You've got Suicide Squad's who did that? David Ayer. You know, already there. He's already began writing this thing about 6 months back. So he's already ahead of the curve, and he's the first movie out. You've got Nightwing. Chris McKay got announced literally the minute the Lego movie hit big, which was only a couple of months ago. They're already ahead of the game there. You know what I mean? They've got a plan now. They never knew what they were doing before. Josh Whedon's Batgirl. That speaks out to me in wonders. Josh Whedon, after Avengers Age of Ultron, he was kind of burnt out.
Yeah.
He was kind of burnt out. Do you think he's really seriously going to accept another thing where people are going to tell him what to do? They're not going to tell Josh Whedon what to do. And no, Josh Whedon, he's probably the guy who's like, show me what you got, and just turn around, I want to do a Batgirl movie. He probably picked it himself, because Wonder Woman's gone. You know what I mean? Like, and you know what? The fact that they're doing Batgirl before the Batman, because if you think about it, if they stuck to the plan, the Batman would have been out the door first. You know what I mean? It would have been out the door first. Now it's lost because they're spending the time. And you know, a week ago I wasn't talking this way. You know what I mean? I was just like, no, fuck DC, and I totally was. But now I'm reassessing it business-wise. It makes sense. Fits in line with the 90th anniversary. They're all taking 3 years to make these movies, which is longer than it takes to make one movie in general. They're planning this out a bit.
Let's hope.
Let's hope so. But I hope to God that Justice League rocks, because nothing has told me in that, but I really hope it does. But Neil, you've been itching to say something. I've spoken a bit longer than I thought I would. So Neil, over to you.
I've always said that I feel like DC do have a plan, but at the end of the day, people got spoilt with Marvel. So whatever their plan is, people shit on it. I said before, I don't think Batman vs Superman is a bad movie. It just has one or two bad things that happen in the film that cause people to call it a bad movie, right? And I've given examples before.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing: when DC first released their slate of films,
yeah.
Now some of that slate has changed, right? Because we've had films drop out and then we've had new films come in, and it was like, I admittedly, when they were like, okay, they're not going with the Ben Affleck version of the Batman, they're not going to go with what him and Jeff Johns did. I was disappointed. I didn't like it, but at the same time, seeing now that they've got this slate, I feel like, you know what? They've got a serious plan in place. Because if you really read the Batman comics, you read Batman comics nowadays, right? Every time it's a big storyline for him, not a Justice League thing, a big storyline for him. All the other players come into it. Robin comes into it, Batwoman comes into it, Nightwing comes into it. And to me, I'm like seeing this slate, and the slate ends with the Batman. So what I feel is that they've done is they probably sat down. I mean, they probably kind of, I think it was kind of spawned a bit more for the fact of they probably got the script and they were like, I don't know about that, you know. Now, but I think generally what they're doing is the Batman is basically his own subsection of the whole Justice League thing, which is the Nightwing movie. It's like, okay, Gotham City Sirens comes out. Now the Sirens, if I remember correctly, is what, Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy, and Batgirl. Right?
Yeah, that's right.
Right. Now, so you do a Sirens movie, okay? So you've got just, it's, you know, basically it's a girls' night out, girls doing their business. So you've got that, right? Then you've got so you have that happening. Then you've got a Nightwing film happening. Okay, so you're not just introducing Nightwing, right? You're introducing the Robin, reintroducing the Robin, right? And we're not talking about the Chris O'Donnell Robin, right? You're reintroducing Robin, and this is basically, to quote Harry Potter, this is the boy who lived, right? This isn't Tim Drake who got slaughtered by the Joker and Harley Quinn. This is Dick Grayson. This is the Flying Grayson's sole survivor, the best Robin, the one, the chosen one, right? This is what this guy is, right? So you're bringing him in now, and you're bringing him in as Nightwing. So he's already had his issues with Batman. So you know what? You're bringing it in, and what's the film? It doesn't matter who the villain is. The film is gonna be the stepping out of your father's shadow film. It's gonna be, can you survive on your own? You're Nightwing now. Okay, right, cool. So who's Nightwing? The first Robin. Right, and you're going to be bringing it in, and that film. I mean, to be honest, I'm actually a bit more excited for the Nightwing film than I am for most of the rest of their slate, because I'm thinking like, wow, you could really get some serious character work in on the Nightwing film, and you know what? Maybe everything it is leading up to all of these characters appearing in the Batman. Now, in regards to when it was, Deathstroke was supposed to be the key villain. You can't have Deathstroke as the main villain, right? Or even if he is the main villain, he's brought into it by somebody else. Because what is Deathstroke? For those who don't know, Deathstroke is an assassin. He's a mercenary. He's a hired gun. So in other words, someone has to hire him. He don't just get off he didn't just wake up in the morning and I'm gonna go fuck with Batman. No. Right? Somebody was like, here's 10 million, go fuck with Batman. Right?
You know what? Chances are they're probably going to put Black Mass in there.
Well, to be honest, from what I gather,
I'm surprised they haven't thought that.
To be honest, I don't think this is going to happen, but I'm going to say it because, you know, it's a theory right now. Until the film comes out, it's just a theory. I remember hearing a little rumour that what was going to happen was at the end of Justice League, Luthor hires Deathstroke to go after Batman.
Yeah.
Right?
Mind you, you know what? Things have probably changed on the Justice League because, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if they had, like, Flash fix all the timelines, man.
Well, you never know. But it's a simple thing of, you know, you could have, so that would be that. And then it's, even if it's Deathstroke versus Batman for the entire film, it's still someone hired him to go in there. Yeah. So no matter what happens, he ain't the main villain. He's just the dude who got brought in to do the business for the dude.
Yeah.
Right? And, you know, I'm sorry, but I just feel like every time somebody goes and shits all over DC right now, it's just because they're so you know, in love with what Marvel's doing that
I don't know about that.
No, it is because you know what, Marvel is Nike. Marvel is Nike, and freaking DC is Adidas. Right?
I don't know.
No, it's Adidas. That's what it is, right?
All right, fair enough.
It's a simple thing of that, and it's just people are just, you know, you know, it's you know what it's like? It's like what the comics used to be like, where it's, you're either one or the other. It's so difficult to be both.
Well, I don't know about that. I mean, like, I'm into all comics.
No, but what I mean by that is that what I mean by that is this, right? What's the film that you dislike the most from Marvel?
Actually, you know what? In my opinion,
from the MCU.
No, in my opinion, they haven't made a shit movie, but they've had a few clunkers. Like a few.
Well, the one that you personally dislike the most.
The one, probably Age of Ultron.
All right, so
that didn't live up to expectations.
Right.
And Iron Man 2.
All right, so Iron Man 2 and Age of Ultron. Now, those are your two top that you weren't really feeling them.
Yeah, but you know, I don't think they're entirely bad, but yeah.
Well, do the same thing with DC. Tell me what are your two favorite DCs of the run of films that they
don't have one.
All right,
I just don't have one, and that's not because if I was to be honest, Chris Nolan trilogy, Richard Donner Superman, and then out of the current slate, Man of Steel.
See, now,
but
I mean,
Man of Steel, I feel Man of Steel is as good as Iron Man 2 and Age of Ultron to me. And I don't mean that it's crap, I mean it was a good movie.
Just not as good.
It just wasn't as good as I hoped it would be.
Yeah. Right.
So
now,
BVS was kind of a big step down to that. But anyway, I don't know, that's just my opinion. I totally know you're like pro, etc. But I love DC Comics. I love Marvel Comics as well. I just want good movies, but that's just me personally. But I don't know. I think personally they've looked at what they've done. They're resetting stuff, and you know, I hopefully hope that this leads to a positive light with their next lace of films. Moving along, stuff coming out this week. Okay, so I'm going to start off now and kickstart off it with Fast and Furious 8. That's coming out, directed by F. Gary Gary.
Looking forward to it. It's going to be a great film.
Yeah, be interested what F. Gary Gary does. I mean, like, I love Straight Outta Compton, The Negotiator, Law-Abiding Citizen, Italian Job. You know what I mean? He's going to add a different kind of flair to the franchise, which it kind of needs a little bit in terms of the way action's shot and stuff. I mean, we had James Wan do like loads of films since number 4. But yeah, I'll be interested to see how they do and amp the ridiculousness of the series, because the trailers look crazy, man. Yeah. We've also got out this week The Handmaiden by Park Chan-wook. Look, this guy is one of my favourite directors, okay? I love Old Boy. That's like one of my favourite movies ever. I love Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance, Lady Vengeance, and I loved his American debut with Nicole Kidman, Stoker. Did you guys see Stoker?
Yeah,
that was such a cool...
Stoker,
that's the one.
Stoker's just a hand job film.
But, there's also another film called... Chesnan et moi, which is Chesnan and me.
Cézanne et moi, which means me and Cézanne.
There we go. Okay, that's good. We've got Leo as our translator here. Because I obviously don't know shit. Directed by Danielle Thompson. What's your thoughts on these films, guys? Which one are you guys most likely to see or interested in?
Fast and Furious 8. That's
Fast
it.
and Furious.
Fast and Furious and The Handmaiden, actually.
Yeah, I'm kind of more going to Handmaiden because I kind of expect what I expect with Fast and Furious.
I just need to go. I'm in a rush because you guys are using my mics and I got a rush.
All right. On that note, because Leo needs to go. He'll be up for 4:30 in the morning as he typed to me while we were talking, or while Neil was talking.
Basically, I got to get up early, people, and I'm really sorry. And my girlfriend's on my case, and she's like, "You gotta come home now because you got to work in the morning." And so I got to drive home real quick and make sure she's got everything that she needs as well. So.
Yeah, I got to run home as well. We have been doing this for over 2.5 hours.
Yeah, we have, which is kind of standard when there's more than 3 of us in the room.
Yeah.
But hey, look, it's been
it has been fun. You can find me on. I'm just going to do this bit for you because I am in definite rush. You can find me on What's the Damage podcast. You check it out on iTunes. Boldly going where no man has gone before. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. And
Neil, where can we find you?
I am a ninja. You cannot find me. Unless you use social media, then you could probably find me on anything that says shoe for the Olympics.
Salmon?
Well, you can find me on either on Twitter or Instagram. It's SAL_F1, SalF1. To get in touch if you like.
And you guys can find me on SashMan3 on Twitter and check my YouTube account, Sacha Allari, for all my short films. On that note, this is Zedos Gang signing off. Adios. Later on, guys. Thank you.